So, during our last long rest, our adventurers returned to the Roamer's Rest after clearing up some knowledge and finding new discoveries in the Starborn Temple, meeting new factions by the name of the Watchers, those that would look up to the sky, the stars, the moon, and the comet, see the magics that they hold, but also protect the world from what is in between those glimmering lights that shine in the sky, what violet depths hold in the beyond between light. It seems that Eldrith is on a path, almost following in the marked footsteps in the snow that his mentor has left before him, taking the steps in the holes that his own soul left behind. Whatever Brightwelk left behind is something that he wanted to keep away, locked, something that he wouldn't be able to find if he ever lost his mind. And Eldrith is slowly piecing it together to find out what it was that he was so desperately hiding, and what it could possibly mean. But, aside from that, our adventurers have a current main goal in mind, and that is to deal with a group known as the Sacred Flame. One that are trying to piece together some sort of maybe action or need or worship, maybe ritual of some kind, through the collection of different artifacts and a specific date, the Day of Glint. Now, it's unknown to our adventurers currently what they could possibly be working towards, but regardless, it is in their duty, and they've been asked by the leader of the Crestfallen Guild, Golmak, to sort it out regardless. They are trusted with this, and so they've taken it on. That journey takes them to the Witchlight Willows, in a different region of Kelmont, many weeks' travel away. Their current journey brings them on a path to Primtir, the capital of Kelmont. Primtir in Elvish stands for the First City, a place that was probably the remaining origin of Kelmont. They were given a task last session to escort a merchant, an old gnome merchant by the name of Gibbs, someone who's roamed these lands for decades, mainly for his job, which is to escort valuable minerals, materials, and other sorts of crafts from one city to the other, and they pay him for his services. Well, this time, he is delivering something to the capital, but there's news that a group of bandits by the name of Hummingbirds are currently causing issues with the road, picking people off, killing them, stealing their stuff, and all of the other roadway bandit stuff that tends to happen. So, Gibbs hired our adventuring party to protect them on their way to the capital. And luckily, he did. As a fight broke out between the Hummingwings, a trap was set up to stop any sort of wagons and merchants poking their way, and an encounter with an old friend for our adventurer Pierce. Someone by the name of Hummingbird is leading this group of people, and it seems that she was referring to Pierce as an old comrade, or at least someone that she knew in the past. However, she did not regard him as Pierce, she regarded him as Finch. Bloody Finch. Now, all of our adventurers have pasts where they come from, strings that are pulled in different times from their own at the moment, but slowly they are weaving themselves together and making themselves obvious to each other. So we'll find out more of how this develops. But for now, we're going to pick up after this encounter. Our session zooms in on our road on the way to Primtir. Daylight still burning, the sun still high in the sky, and the path towards Primtir slightly more cleared after our adventurers scattered off the traps that were in the way. So, as you all gather your breath after the encounter, sit down, take a breather, clean up some wounds, and make sure that Gibbs is okay, that brings us to the overworld trouble.
Overworld trouble.
So, whilst here, and as you all gather your breath, what would you all like to do?
How long are we gathering our breath for? Just a quick, like, 5-minute breather, and then on our way.
Doubt.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I might be nearly dead, but I'm fine to keep
Same.
going. Honestly.
Ambrose is going to look down and sort of picks a bit of shrapnel out of the sort of deep cut V of his shirt, just into sort of like the top of where his like sort of abs start, and it's all like this gooey black congealed blood around it, and just oh, that's not good.
You'll be fine. Walk it off.
No, I don't think I will. It's a lot of there's a lot of shards in me.
You know, I'll just like turn and look at him. I'm probably like so
Like,
many.
fucking yeah.
Yeah, your
Lots
body
of dark
is,
stains like dripping from his body.
Yeah, he's looking almost as actually, you're looking far worse, Hjarlgron, but he is also looking pretty bad for wear.
You're doing good. Well, if
I
you
must
wish
have
to
known
rest.
to go for the strong ones, am I right? He sort of, sort of sits down for a moment against like a tree.
I look to everyone. Best we rest.
I think so.
I think I
If
can
you
see a
wish.
tunnel.
And look at him. There are no tunnels in this forest.
If I don't make it, friends, please go on in my memory.
I just look at everyone.
Reece doesn't make eye contact.
Don't think he's very good at this. Right. Everyone rest. Those who aren't as injured, keep a lookout.
Does anyone have any tweezers?
I don't think any of us have tweezers.
No.
No.
I
Why?
don't think I have tweezers for such a small man.
Your
You know,
tweezers
just
would count as splints.
pick these shards of jagged metal out from my organs.
Hjarlgron just grabs his hand on his chest and just like kind of wipes down to like get all the shrapnel off.
They cause some cuts as the shrapnel just clatters against the floor, but it's almost like someone just smashing a bunch of arrows out of their body. You just dust it off of yourself.
Try that. And I sit
Ouch.
down.
Yep, very good.
Good God, if it wasn't for all of you, I'd be dead by now, probably. Doesn't seem like they were willing to bargain for my life if I was just to give them my stuff. Wipes his brow with sweat.
I wonder what their motive was.
Well, if anything in my job has told me for the past 70 years or so is that bandits don't really have a motive. They just want money. So they can eat and live. Everyone has a skill set. Some people use it for good and some use it for bad.
Why not just steal food?
It's a good question, boy. It's a good question. I suppose stealing from villages and cities could be a bit more difficult than just taking stuff on the road.
There's more food in cities.
Hmm. Well, would you rather try and take a slice of meat in between a pack of wolves, or take a
I would
bunch
never.
or take a bunch of berries from one guard dog?
I would just make them berry, and I'll hand him one.
Oh my god, I knew it was coming.
He looks at it, he's a
As
bit
soon as you
surprised.
mentioned berries.
Well, we don't all have the ability to just make berries, but thank you. He'll take it and eat it. Oh, God, that is filling. This is awfully small for something so filling.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Doib, but it's not the hardest of spells to learn, right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, so it stands to reason that any bandits that could just read a fucking book for 10 minutes and practice every day might be able to solve their own problems.
Yes.
Well, it depends on how inclined to the arcana they are, I suppose.
Oh, anyone can bullshit a few parlor tricks.
Not everyone can. Not everyone wants to.
There are those that are completely cut off from the arcane.
Poor bastards.
Thank you. Tap him on his shoulder.
Correct me if I'm wrong, big guy, but magic isn't really seen up in the north, is it?
Other than mainly berhags, might be one or two little creatures here and there. Other than that, not really.
Interesting.
Majority look like me. If not smaller. He smiles as he says that.
Oh, I imagine so. Must have been quite a shock for you coming this far south.
So strange.
Is it
Such small.
really true what they say? Impossible to live in the frost?
Well, I've done it for 30 years, so I'd say it is.
What about for us southern folk?
I'll look at everyone.
You make a quick analysis in your head, Hjarlgron. No one here would be able to survive in the
Yeah.
frost.
Within this group, probably not.
No, whoa. Wait on a second there. I mean, it can't be that bad.
And look at him. What do you find is cold?
Oh,
Glow.
depends.
I wish to know what you find is cold. Like, what would you find is freezing?
Well, I mean, I'm no stranger to snow, so it's not that bad. I used to go out there sometimes, and in the winter, in the finest sort of months when the snow falls like a blanket, you would lay down in it, and you could be completely butt-ass naked and make little snow angels. No problem.
What do you call the blanket here? We call the drop in the frost. Hell, we don't get much snowfall, more so blizzards every time.
It's not as much cotton snow as it is almost icicles that fall from the
Yeah.
sky.
And God forbid you piss off a berhag, and you've really fucked your village.
A what
That's
now?
why a berhag, specifically found within icy regions, mainly the frost. That's why we never hunt them. Arseholes.
I
Piss
see.
them off, they'll track you down. Cover your village in a blizzard.
Oh.
That's why if you do hunt one down, we make sure to finish it.
What can they be reasoned with?
I'll look at him. Yes,
Yeah.
a blade.
Oh. Not a cutting tongue and a sharp mind, then.
Oh no, they cannot.
That's a
fine
shame.
If you run into one, just don't attack it. Then again, some could be assholes and fuck you over still.
Mhm. A pity, really. I'd very much like to know what goes on in their heads out there. Roaming around, just destroying villages when they get a little bit pissed.
Well, I know what goes around in that head. Smiles.
let me guess. It's brains. You're going to say brains because you've cut one out before or something like that.
Oh no, I've crushed one.
There you go.
Under my foot. They make a weird pop noise.
A weird popping. Not a crunch. Not a sickening crunch.
No. Which is why it was, like I said, a weird popping noise.
Strange. Skulls usually sort of crack and then you hear this sort of squelch.
That I know.
Gibbs is just looking at this conversation like, what the fuck is happening?
Talking about like how brains explode.
Literally.
The definition of just mercenaries right now.
Literally.
Just man stuff,
He's just happy he's got you guys on his side rather than the other way around. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Never really had to kill a person until the game's out. But they follow the same.
No. And speaking of, these people here that we've just had to, well, I suppose we didn't dispatch all of them. Some of them saw reason, and one of them wussed out. Must have been afraid.
Like to Syldia. Just give a nod, and then just go back to the conversation.
Sorry, I didn't hear what was happening.
Oh no, I just like looked to your character as we were talking about like one of the bandits escape, and I just give you a nod.
She nods back.
I mean, what the hell even did they throw at me? Because that hurt like a bitch.
I don't know. I also got hit with some strange ball of metal.
Gibbs also
Yeah, it's
looks
not
to the
normal.
ground and he's like scattering across the dirt and he picks up one of these tiny pieces of shrapnel to inspect because he's also curious. I've never seen anything like this either.
Last I checked, it wasn't common practice. Used to use magic back in the day. Now they're just chucking anything at you that just explodes.
I mean, I've seen black powder barrels before and cannons on ships, but this is... And he just chucks it on the ground, the piece of shrapnel. Different.
It's bullshit is what it is.
I can explain what it is, can't I?
You can explain the weapon, the gun that was used, definitely. The, shrapnel bombs that they're throwing, bit different, but you're not too far off. You've maybe seen some of this warfare in Besselia, but this is very much a Besselia warfare type thing. But
So it would be more of an
the
advanced thing that I've already seen.
the gun, yeah, you can be like, oh, I've seen, these revolvers and pistols before, but it's rare to come by them. But these weird, small shrapnel cluster grenade things, that's...
Okay, those are new.
Yeah.
Now that we're not mid-conversation, Glow, does Doi feel cold? Would he have a purpose to feel cold?
So, how much can I say without spoiling anything? In general, Warforged, in general, we know in Campaign 2 that Warforged came to existence because of what you guys found. Cabal created Warforged. He, put a piece of himself and kind of almost in a computing way, in a very old-fashioned computing way, he basically uploaded himself into every Warforged to ever exist, essentially, and created all of them, so that they could think for themselves and feel. So technically, you shouldn't, you actually wouldn't feel the effects of it, but you're almost kind of automated to react to it so that you can't just freeze over or melt in high heat. So you don't feel the actual pain of being in cold or the discomfort from being in cold or being in heat. You don't feel that discomfort, but your body is aware. It regulates the temperature. It's almost like a warning system, oh, it's too cold, I'm going to freeze over. Or, oh, it's too hot, I'm going to melt.
Almost like a physical stress system. Gotcha.
Yeah. Whereas the actual understanding, the discomfort of shivering from cold or sweating from heat, no, that's foreign to you.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. I'm assuming that all of these chats occurred whilst you guys were short resting, so you may enjoy the benefits of a short rest.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn. Yeah, to do
Short resting, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think people were happy to short rest and wanted to have some conversations while it was happening on the road, which is fine by me.
Okay, okay.
Dash to plan.
In a way, Toast, kind of, yes. Fragments of his knowledge are uploaded into every Warforged so that they can have self-thought, but he wanted every Warforged to have self-regulation and self-thought.
So
Back to full.
he forgot to defragment his PC.
Essentially. Before he
Did
died,
it on purpose.
Yeah, he wanted to basically upload a piece of his knowledge and himself to see if he could... His entire purpose was to see if he could create life, essentially, and he deemed that as creating life.
Do hit dice gain for your con mod? Don't remember.
Yeah, hit dice plus con.
You know?
Yeah.
Or minus con.
Or minus con.
Or minus con, yeah.
God, I can't wait for
Wouldn't
fix
be
that
me.
for you, man. You need that.
That needs to be fixed.
Okay. I'm good with spending 2 dice, basically.
We need to get you
Sweet.
some plugins.
You also had a... Oh, well, you've short rested, that's fine. I was going to say, to be fair, you also don't need to worry too much, because you also have Celwydd's Oath of... Aimee's Oath,
I do, yeah.
which is a good spell to use after and before combat, to be fair. But you're all topped up. Right.
I guess during the short rest,
Yeah.
Pierce is looking into the middle distance, cleaning himself off. Just trying to come to terms with who he met.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I imagine there's a bit of some brain fog going on and a bit of just kind of like disbelief running through your mind. It also puts into perspective maybe who else and what else could be roaming around. But yeah, if there's nothing else during the short rest, then obviously you guys could, start up the cart again and continue on your journey towards the capital, Primtier, if everyone's happy to do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have a job to do. You can finish it.
Just go into the overworld map. El Tactico. How many days have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days of travel. Okay.
Roll an encounter for us.
More bandits, more bandits.
Yeah. They come back.
Okay. So anyone for, like I did last time where we did 1 perception roll or 2 perception rolls that were going to be then the permanent rolls for the journey. Since we've had a stop now, you will have to now obviously re-roll. So, who is keeping an eye out as we travel now for the next 4 days? Obviously, you can either do that as 2 individual rolls with 2 different purposes of scouting, or 1 perception roll with advantage. I don't mind.
I'm too busy drinking tea.
I'm not looking.
Don't care.
I'll assist anyone
I've-
who wants to.
I'll do it. Pierce would be on alert.
Okay.
Roll that bitch with
Oh, then.
advantage.
Bro's gonna be getting harassed the entire time.
So how did you know them? You're a killer? What's going on? Come on, tell us.
Yeah, who the fuck are you? Why are you in with the psycho bitch?
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to have
so-
that conversation, I'd be happy to see that.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to see that
absolutely.
shit. I'd be happy to see that shit unfold.
Boys, I think it is time.
It is
Put off the
time.
killer talk for too long.
We can ask him a bit more sensitively than that in case he has a panic attack.
No.
No, it's time to address.
Sensitively and have Syldia looming behind him.
No.
Alright,
Syldia's
so-
just keep posing behind
Broach the
Pierce.
subject.
We have 2
Ambrose,
minutes.
hands in pockets as they're walking, is going to sort of slowly appear at Pierce's shoulder. Just, his footsteps get a bit closer. Are we going to talk about how some of your friends just tried to kill us on the road, Pierce?
We don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh no, I want to. I'm asking.
We don't have to if you don't want to, as he starts the conversation.
Wasn't friends. Multiple. Just one.
Just one friend, right? The one that tried to kill us.
Yes. We used to be colleagues.
And you couldn't have perhaps told your colleague that we are with you and perhaps not targets? That would have been very helpful, you know.
Yeah, she wouldn't have treated the situation any different.
Right.
It's not so much complicated as how much can be understood.
Well, from an outside point of view here, Pierce, we just got attacked on the road and one of them knew you, and you did perhaps very little to discourage it, I would say. I would just prefer not getting holes blown in my nice figure from now on.
Or having my chest almost ruptured.
That too, that was very difficult to watch.
That
It
was
was
scary.
difficult to handle.
All that matters is I'm trying to get away from whatever she was dealing with. I'm trying to leave that life behind.
No, of course. The life of... what? Just so I know.
Contract.
killer.
Jeez.
Doi coming out of
Doi.
left field.
I like, you know what? Let's go with Doi. Like, honestly, Pete said nothing. If Doi pipes up, 100% keep that.
I mean, that's what she did to us. You can figure it out.
Yeah. Yes. A killer. One who... Forget it. Not important right now. Gonna go to Primtia. Make sure we're safe. No more incidents.
Traveling in a party of killers, I see. Look around.
Just seems like only a couple to me. Looks around as well.
I mean, after today, we've all killed.
That's very assumptive. I don't think I've dropped a single person on our adventure.
I'll look at it.
There's a difference. This was out of necessity.
Well, I certainly made sure that I didn't kill anyone this time.
No, if anything, our hands are clean, Pierce.
Mine are certainly dirty.
Well, I don't really care. As long as you put your skills to use. Not on us.
I suppose my concern is, if you were paid enough, would you turn on us? Because a hired killer, usually towards whoever has the most gold.
No.
Oh, I'm convinced.
I'm not the most compelling. But it's only one man versus all of us. We'd crush
This
him
is true.
easily.
Well, you would, of course. You don't mind getting your hands dirty.
Well, I enjoy a fight.
Well, certainly an eye-opener of a day. No more hide killers on the road, thank you. No more shrapnel in my organs.
Pluck a piece out of your hair.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Give it a doy, maybe
That-
you can chew it or something.
You know, I will. I'll go over to Dog.
Like a bit of jerky for Doy.
Oh
Here
my
you go.
god.
For your,
Here, boy. Here, boy.
Clang,
berries.
clang, clang, clang. Just hear his jaw
he
going.
gives us berries. We give him fucking shrapnel.
Give and take.
Yummy.
Mm.
That's iron in your diet right there. Right.
All right.
Look, ever since the island went down in smoke, I was hoping to leave a life behind, and it's found me here. That's the current situation. So as long as I can, I'm gonna keep running from it.
Well, as long as you have our back, we'll have yours. But if you turn, I'll split you in two. Until then, good working with you. And I pat him on his back. I send him forward like a foot or two.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, our skills are valuable to us.
Thank you.
Give a nod.
I just hope to apply skills to new things.
If it comes to murder, well, I'll look to Ambrose. I'm pretty sure we can handle it.
We?
Oh yes.
Oh, no, I'll just confuse him. You can split him in two.
Oh no, I mean as in not murdering him. Those doesn't
Your
matter.
teeth.
Oh, I was
Hmm.
thinking because pretty sure I get the vibe that he's also one.
What?
A killer.
Don't be daft. I couldn't kill a man except for with my words.
I just look at you with a blank stare.
Insight check.
I just don't buy it. My guy just looks at you like, mm-hmm.
1 second.
I do have a question for you,
Holy shit.
Ambrose. Oh,
23.
five.
Oh, no. It's all coming out now.
He pushes his onyx sort of spectacles a little bit further up his nose to cover his eyes a little bit more.
Syldia just raises an eyebrow. Very pointed.
I mean metaphorically, of course. I can talk my way into someone's heart, but I can't make it rupture or anything like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
No.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a killer.
No, like I said, I've not hurt. Well, I've hurt people on this journey, but I've not killed anyone.
No, maybe not on this one.
Or any other journeys. This is my first journey.
I don't believe
This is my first journey.
My first
Ambrose,
rodeo.
You
Yeah.
look like the type who only gets around.
Oh, I do, just not killing. Slaying.
Yes, I
perhaps.
know with sex, but also getting around as in all of them.
I'm a well-travelled man, if that's what you mean.
Yes. Maybe a bit well seasoned. Give a smile. Like I said, there's no shame in it.
Hjarlgron's
And
a
if
real
I
fella,
felt
you
any,
know.
then I would admit it. But I don't, because I
Mhm.
haven't.
Well, you clearly don't have any shame when you go off into the woods at night.
Well, for a start, if I hadn't been doing that, we'd have half the rations that we have. Someone has to look out for the group.
Wait, you weren't masturbating in the woods at night?
No, if I wanted to do that, I would go much further out. Find a nice
Oh.
tree, overlook a lake, really set the scene.
Set the scene.
This sucks.
I
What is
got
it?
Pierce a nice steak from a deer that one night. He really enjoyed that, did you, Pierce?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, these little bits of rabbit and squirrel and deer I've been bringing back for everyone. It's basically like something to do at night. I've got nothing else to do if we're not in a busy town full of very beautiful people. So I just thought, make some time, do something useful. I'm not as strong as you, Hjarlgron, nor as efficient with a blade as Pierce, and I'm certainly not as friendly and approachable as Doy. So, well, maybe a little bit approachable, but I just make myself useful. Killing animals doesn't count anyway.
I mean, killing is killing regardless.
All right, but if you need to do it, then it doesn't really count as murder. Murder is, not out of necessity.
So a moral line is struck.
Self-defense, or whatever it is, I don't care. If I'm in a fight, it goes too far, it goes too far. They shouldn't have started what they couldn't finish.
Toma.
This is true. This is true. If you have to end a fight, you end it how you can. But I'm not going out there picking fights with animals. I'm jumping them unawares and getting us some rations. That's all.
Yes.
And if you have a problem with that, I can stop and, Oh, poor dear Eldrith over here would look even skinnier.
Oh my god. Ambrose, I've told you, I don't care about killing. Do
Well,
what you
you're
have
drawing
to.
attention to it. That's all.
Do what you have to. Don't turn it on us. Or
Oh, I would never turn it
the
on you.
warning I said to Pierce will be on you.
I wouldn't turn it on you unless we were really running out of rations. Then I suppose I could get a nice juicy steak out of one of you.
Like pat him on his head. You could try.
You all seem like really good friends.
Honestly,
Yeah.
probably my first group I've met on the outside I don't dislike.
But if an elf eats a human in D&D, is it cannibalism?
Yeah, probably.
These are the hard-hitting questions we need answered.
You know what? There's only one way to
Humanoids,
find out.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Someone become
Eat
Jack the
that
Ripper and
human.
print to you. P.S. This is your villain arc. Become Jack the Ripper.
It's time.
You're right. You're right.
Honestly,
I'm on
I
it.
sanction it.
I mean,
Pierce
I
the
was
slasher.
I was already like trying to go for something
no.
else, but you know what?
Pierce the slasher.
P.S. the slasher.
Wait a second.
No. Pierce the veil. Done.
Hey.
Okay.
Right. Well, with our conversation of perhaps who we once were and a moral line struck of the value of killing, what is worth and what isn't, what is okay and what is not, and where we stand and where we do not stand on that concept, gets slowly explored slightly more as our companions learn more about one another. So, on the way around, as you guys travel for the next 4 days, a 24, Pierce, racks you up a brilliant perception score to make yourself aware of wares on the next 4 days of travel. What you notice, here are a couple of things that you notice over the next couple of days. Upon arriving after 2 days at the bridge that goes over one of the rivers that feeds off of the Lost Lands into the Dahlia's Divide, you, from here onwards, begin to notice a lot more Sigil Knights. Not that you know them as Sigil Knights, but as the Crown Guard, the guards that are robust in this light blue and silver trimmed armor, that all have these wax sigils over the left pauldron with a bit of parchment that comes down from them. normally with the commandments and the oaths that they've made to the tiny queen. And after you guys cross the bridge, there's far more of them. The thing that is welcoming and feels quite nice, but for those of you that already exist within Kelmont and have done so for many years, it's not too different. Luckily, the soldiers, the Sigil Knights, don't feel militant. They're quite welcoming and happy to, help you if you need directions, and they're not exactly your stern soldiers that you used to that will take no crap and kind of throw you to the side. They're very helpful, and if they see, every now and again you might even see some that help other people set up camp nearby so they can have a good night's rest before they set off on a journey and whatever else. But you do notice, Pierce, that once you get past the bridge and the forests here that begin to form on the outskirts of Printier, you can begin to notice that this bloody brown feathered fucking bird is back, following us around. Since you crossed the bridge, it begins to just float around, fly around, and perch itself on nearby branches and scout you for a couple of hours, leave, and then maybe at night return again. But it again continues to pester all of you.
Okay.
Let me chuck a javelin at it. Come on.
On watch.
Yep.
I'll take a watch.
Okay.
Seeing this bird, what kind of bird was it?
It's a small robin-sized bird, and it's got brown plumage or plumage? I don't know how the fuck it's
Plumage.
Yeah, plumage.
And it's no bigger than a robin. Just a really tiny, small, brown plumed bird. Nothing like intricate about it, just a small bird, but noticeable enough that it, you've seen it plenty of times at this point, and a couple of times before you thought to yourself, okay, I'm literally just going schizo at this point. I mean, we're seeing a brown bird and we all think it's the same one, but no, you're with the 24, you're very certain that this one even has the same really tiny dark black spots around it on its plumage.
Yeah, and if there's anybody that would be concerned about birds, it would be Piers. So that makes sense later on down the story, but that's a surprise we'll say for later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just bear it up in the tree. Hey. Come down here.
Stays staring at you for a moment. And it doesn't come down to the ground, but it leaps down to a lower branch. But it doesn't seem to get much closer than that.
Obviously wants some of us for something. You obviously want us for something. We got a message.
Just kind of turns its head, as birds kind of tend to do, and look from side to side, keeping their eyes on you, but doesn't seem to do anything. It's just happy to be able to watch you guys.
What is this bird?
The fucking freak.
It's an unmanned UAV, bro.
It's a government drone, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Who do you belong to? I'm gonna take a look around, see if I can see anybody that's trying to hide from us, I guess.
You may roll me an active
I'll
perception.
step away. Yeah, and I will also step out into the brush or wherever
Mm-hmm.
I need to go. Perception?
Yep. Yes, please. With an 11,
That is.
There's-
Man.
there doesn't seem to be anything nearby. I mean, there's your typical king antler deers that are nearby, and other general, I guess, roaming fauna, but no people.
I'll come back to the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, you gonna lead me somewhere then? You got somewhere to take me? So I can come back with a message for the rest of the group?
It chirps, but it does not do anything. It does not lead you anywhere.
Great. That's probably a no. I'll call out into the distance. Hey! Whose bird is this?
You hear the bird chirping, but does not do anything, and no one answers you.
What? What are you chirping about?
Is it night time right now? We're resting.
Yeah, I think
It is nighttime, yeah.
I think Piers wanted to do this when they got to Rusty.
We're shouting out into the woods.
Yelling out
from
into the woods.
from another tree. Like he's been sleeping in like a branch, like laying against the tree up in a branch. Freaking Ambrose's head just pops down from the tree. Would you shut up, Piers? It's fucking late.
Psycho just yelling into the woods at fucking like what 12 a.m. Oh, whose fucking bird is this? Like, shut up. Psycho, bro.
Right. Well, you're watching the group. I want to go take a piss.
I'm not watching anything. You just woke me up.
No, I was talking to the bird.
The bird. What bird? Is it back?
It's back.
You turn around
Where's
to
this
point at the
bird?
bird, and there is no bird. It is gone.
And there's no bird.
You just woke me up for no bird. Go to sleep, Piers,
I'm-
you silly bastard. And just
See
disappears
what-
back up into the trees.
Can I see where that bird went?
With your passive perception or your active of 11, no.
Okay.
I wonder if that bird went invisible. Someone wake me the fuck up.
Your turn for a watch?
No.
No, not his. Eldrith's turn for a watch, I'm asking.
I mean, I'm not the one awake, so you pick who. I'm just saying.
It's nudging people.
I mean...
Wanna watch? Wanna watch?
You want to watch? You want to watch? You want to turn? No, honestly...
I will throw out there that people generally feel quite comfortable to sleep without having to do watches now that they're within their prim land, which is past the bridge. Everything's pretty well guarded.
It is a general magic question. So the one person that PS would go to is Eldrith.
Okay.
So yeah. Go down, kneel down, like nudge Eldrith at his feet. Hey, Eldrith.
Yes?
Hey, our bird friend is back.
And?
Well, it's magically inclined, isn't it? And it's sort of just disappeared without a trace.
Do I really see no bird, Brandon?
You see no bird, but roll me an Arcana check.
Will do. God forbid, do not roll me below a 6 on the die.
You're gonna roll a 7. Watch this.
14 is high enough.
14, I'll take the 14.
Oh, 14 is high enough. You detected this magic a long time ago, and as a wizard yourself, you are aware of such a spell known as Find Familiar, and you already found this about this thing a long time ago. But the first thing that came to your mind when Pia said that the bird is back, and then when you looked, it wasn't there anymore, the first thing that came to your mind is, well, Find Familiars can just be recalled, and they just poof out of existence and return back to their owner, so that's possible.
It's nighttime, right?
Yes.
So it's not invisible, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If it is invisible, then obviously you can't see it.
I mean, I am attuned to that new little orbo of mine.
Oh shit! Of course. Yes, with the light of the stars and the moon glowing onto the ground, you do not see anything that could be concealed.
Okay. Now, if I don't see anything that can be concealed, I don't know if this counts. But can I spend one whole 60 minutes? 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Good God, an hour?
I was gonna say.
Oh,
A whole 60 whole seconds to target that bird to see if I know where it is
With
using
what?
Starseer.
You'll have to remind me of the wording on it.
I will simply copy paste.
That would be
Such is the power of technology.
huge.
You can spend 1 minute focusing on the globe and speak the command word to locate a creature, object, or place you fire. As long as it's within 3 miles of you in the same plane of existence, the effect will manifest as a bird. Okay, you spend the 1 minute focusing. You begin to see as this new astrolabe of sorts, this almost planetarium that is at your hands, begins opening up, and you can see kind of these constellations dotting about and forming. And as you try and locate that creature, knowing that you're very familiar with it at this point, wherever it may be, it is not within 3 miles as of this moment.
Bastard. I was hoping if I could locate it, it'd show me where the caster would be as well.
It would, you would be completely correct if it was within 3 miles.
If.
But as far as
yeah,
I can
so-
tell, looking at the overworld map, we are not within 3 miles.
Bastards.
So,
It's a bird. It's a fine familiar spell. It's nowhere around.
I want to give
Was
you a
that all?
theory. I'm going to give you a theory, not a magic theory, because I'm terrible at that. I think we're bound to meet somebody when we get to Primtia. If this thing has been following us all the way here,
Maybe. We've met many people already.
maybe it's who we're going to meet.
Right. And why the concern? Are they evil? Do they wish us harm?
I've always been a bit wary when it comes to birds. Many birds give different messages.
Right, and what's the message of that one?
This one's just observing. Seeing if we are the right people the owner's
So the
looking
meaning
for.
of that bird is observing?
Pretty much. It's small. It is obscure whenever it comes to foliage and trees. It's hard to see. So it's hard to spot unless you're looking for it. Little spy, if you will.
Right. So should I be concerned?
I'm saying be wary for when we get to Primtia.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else?
Right. I don't have any more magic questions. I'm out.
So you woke
I
me
had
up for
no
a bird?
idea.
For a fine familiar?
I don't know what it is.
Right.
I was
Well,
just saying,
since
hey,
I'm awake
the magic
anyway,
bird's back.
he's just going to sit up and just, I guess, ponder or meditate. Whatever it is he can do now that he's fucking awake.
Under the orb.
Ponder the orb.
Ponder the orb. I mean, he does have an
Ponder
actual
the
orb now, so
orb.
yes.
He now
Ponder
can,
the orb.
He can now canonically ponder an orb. This has
Yes,
been my
he
plan
can.
my entire life.
Ayo.
Oh, finally.
Alright.
Any orb ponderers in the chat?
Honestly, love it.
There's one right here.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Well, well, if that will be it then, then the remaining amount of your journey shall come to its end. As in the distance, as you turn the last few corners, roam around the edges, and come from behind the tree line, in the distance you see the marvel that is Primtier.
Oh, we get an image change. Jesus, that's
Now.
beautiful.
Now, as you all approach Primtier, from possibly now maybe only 2 to 3 miles away, you can see its elegance form in the distance. This city is not just a staple, a capital, it is a radiance, it is a beacon of what Kelmont is. You can feel the surge of Arcana from here. This place is built almost as a foundation to one of the most grained and rooted places to the core of Arcana there is in Kelmont. You can see its wondrous cyan and blue roofed buildings from a distance, reflecting from small bits of sunlight that come in between the dark autumn clouds. Even amongst these dark and gloomy days, you can see splendor. You can see resilience. You see people wandering in and out of the large front gates that remain open. You can notice that the gates are open to people to walk in and out. The large, circular and weaving wall that protects this beautiful city does a splendorous job at remaining pure but welcoming. From over the wall line, you can see the tall, pointed, and very unique architectural aspect of Primtier. These tall, slender, pointed rooftop-like buildings. You can see them all from a distance, almost all reaching up towards the skies. Plenty of wagons, caravans, people in their groups and in their individuals, walking in and out of the village. People seem to be able to go in and out without being stopped by any guards as you approach closer, but those with wagons and caravans are stopped for a quick routine inspection by the Sigil Night Guard. Soldiers wearing long white and blue capes over one pauldron, with wax seals decorating them, and large kind of metallic plated armor. They all have halberds to their side as their weapon of choice, and they are happy to put them and stow them away whilst they do a quick routine check of everyone. Some of them seem locals, and some of them seem regulars. But the guards will have a brief conversation, share a laugh with them, do a quick check of the inventory, and let them through after they mark them off. It seems safe, and it seems welcoming, but it definitely seems strict to wanting to make sure that nothing can harm anyone going into this place. So, as you all roam into the front gates that still blockade the majority of what is this painting of a city, the walls still prevent you from seeing the splendors within, but as you guys arrive at the large archway, a couple of guards stop you, not wearing their helmets and letting people see their face to be a bit more welcoming. One of them, with 3 different wax sigils over his left pauldron, walks up to Gibbs, who stops the carriage. Oh, Gibbs, another trip into Primtier, I see. Carrying as much merchandise as usual. Gibbs lets out a small chuckle. Well, you know, keeping me busy, not letting me retire. I do what I can. And just so you know, the people traveling with me are the guards I've hired, so they're with me. I can vouch for them. The guard looks to all of you with a kind smile and waves at you. It's a pleasure meeting you all, and thank you for keeping Gibbs safe. He's one of our best merchants.
He's very welcome.
I hope that you didn't find any troubles on the road.
We can handle.
Yeah.
Too much.
Gibbs lets out kind of like a nervous chuckle. Yeah, nothing too bad, I suppose. The guard kind of gets the idea. He's like, well, I'm glad to see you all in one piece regardless. I'll send the information back to the Tiny Queen. Maybe we can reinforce some of the roads, at least closer to Primtier. Our gods are scattered a bit thin, as you can imagine, with the nearby attacks. Well, let me just do a quick check, if you don't mind, Gibbs. Gibbs just nods and says, no, of course, go for it. The guard comes to the back of the wagon, and almost with this kind of flipboard looks, he pulls open a couple of these crates and barrels to look through. He scatters through, like, tons of rice and opens up boxes that are filled with spices and stuff, and just your general merchandise, nothing out of the ordinary. Alright, everything seems to be in order. Gone?
Wait, nearby attacks. We already know what that is, right?
Yeah, you can assume. I mean, you can ask as well. But the first thing that comes to assumption is the stuff that was happening with the Sacred Flame, and you already knew that the Tiny Queen sent some guards down to Crestfall, and but even further down than that as well, to Millwood.
Right. Yo, I thought so. Just clawing myself back in.
Alright then. Is it okay if I take your god's names? It's good to keep a list of who is in and who isn't in the city. Are you guys like a troubling group? Do you work under an organization? It'd be easier to take in all of your names.
I'm thinking of names, but nothing's stuck yet.
It tends to happen. So not working as part of anyone at the moment. Fair enough.
Who do we sign up with down in, what was the town? Going to my map. Because I'm bad with names. This is a Piers thing, this is a Nathan thing. We signed up with Gulmark down in Crestfall, in the Crestfallen Guild. Do you have records of that up here?
Oh, if you're working with Crestfall. Oh, that makes it a lot easier. He kind of seems to take off this already pre-written up box. Clearly these from the Crestfallen Guild come up and do jobs up here very often. Very well. You must know about the branch in the city then. There's a small Crestfallen branch guild here in Primtier. You could probably get recompense for your jobs there if you've done any.
I guess. This wasn't a guild job though, was it?
No, it wasn't. But he seems to think that you guys are doing it as part of that, so he's happy to put you down as Crestfallen.
Okay, I was going to say this. I would have said that in person. In character.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we'll just roll with it.
So, yeah. I don't think we'll get paid that way.
No, Gibbs will pay you himself.
Okay, cool.
Alright, well, I'll mark you down as Crestfallen for now. Writes it down.
Sounds good.
Counts you all. Alright. Well, please come through. Welcome to Primtier.
Let's go, guys. Let's head on through to the city.
Yippee!
Oh boy.
Let's go, gang.
10 sessions later. So, the city's burning down.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you do?
Alright, time to leave the city, guys.
My first act in the city will be to kill the Tiny Queen.
My first act in the city will be arson. Yeah.
Right, so you guys now push past the large gateway, and almost like the opening of eyes after being awoken up, or the first glance as your eyes slightly adjust to light when you awake from sleep. You open your eyes and they begin to adjust to the scenery. You see a marvelous city. No sign of your typical muddied paths or even polished cobblestone, no. The paths here are marbled, polished, and resilient. They reflect perfectly, and you can see small puddles beginning to form in the marble flooring that scatters the entire city. Small drainage systems that lead into a lower sewer take up most of the water that comes in from the rain. Plenty of guards dot about at each cornerstone between large crossings, but most people don't seem to carry around wagons and carts. They seem to get dropped off, and most people here just get about their day on their feet. large buildings of splendor, and each one is almost designed to make sure that it is as perfect as possible. Buildings and houses here are all equally comfortable, and the commodities are amazing. There are still some sort of visual divide. There are smaller cottage-like houses around the outskirts that slowly go into bigger buildings and clusters of homes towards the center as it reaches the large, tall, almost glowing palace at the center of it all that seems to be built upon a small rock. This place is unfathomably big. There are plenty of places to explore and to see, and to majority of you, it would be your first time in the capital. So, as Gibbs puts an end to where wagons are allowed to reach to before it's just only permitted to go by foot, he stands off and gathers you all. Well, he rubs his hands together. Thank you all so much for being able to escort me here. I wouldn't have made it without you.
Thank you for the job.
I don't know. It's always needed. And, I've added a little extra. I thought that 50 gold for Thursday was a bit shy, so I've added another 25, and he hands you a pouch of 75 gold pieces.
Jeez.
Especially after
Generous,
the
thank
encounter
you.
that we had. I wish I could probably donate more, but... I'll also put in a good name with you all. With my friends, and I know merchants in good places. He kind of winks and, taps his forehead. I'll see if I can make sure that if you're, around certain places that they can give you a discount.
Thank you,
Oh,
Gibbs.
wow. Solid guy, this one.
Dap up Gibbs. I'm a bit worried if I do. I
To
might
dap
kill
him up, you'd have to literally dap his body, bro. You just
I think I would actually
Yeah.
dap him. That's the thing. I don't want to send him.
Yeah, you would you would grab him like a squeaky toy.
We get hazard pay and rep, bro. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's happy
Big
you guys
special-
saved
yeah.
him from a murdering psychopath. So yeah, he's pretty thankful, shall we say?
Man's gonna go
It
to our
was-
Steam profiles and just type in plus rep.
Plus
Yeah,
rep.
plus rep.
Save me
Plus
from bandit.
red.
So it was 75 gold total.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's gonna be
It
split
also
between-
doesn't
I haven't
hurt
thought
to,
of plus
like...
rep in ages.
I think we also come across as the people that you want to be friends with instead
Oh,
of enemies
yeah.
too. To be fair.
For sure.
As
We're weird.
demented as our conversations can be.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
guys are all
It wasn't
freaks
meant for
sometimes.
him.
yeah, hands you the
You're part of
gold.
the freak team.
And yeah, I might see you around. It's a big city though, so maybe I'll pass across, maybe they won't. But yeah,
Do you,
enjoy yourselves here.
Oh,
do you tend to
Gibbs,
set up
before
like a...
you go,
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, go on, Eldrith.
does the name Brightwell ring a bell for you?
Passes his hand through his grubby beard at this point, since he's been 5 days on the road. Brightwell. I know there's a tower named after that in the north somewhere. No? Somewhere in Regalia, maybe? Or Legia?
You perchance know his likeness?
Oh, God,
What
no.
race they are?
I don't know anyone of such a name. I know there's a tower named after him in Logia, but that's it.
Well, yes, there is a tower named after him, but it's where I used to live.
Oh. Then surely you should know him, no?
It's what I want to know.
Mm.
Some things have turned up, and maybe the person I knew wasn't really who I thought they were.
Well, things have a way of revealing themselves to us in time, boy. I'll keep my eye out for anyone called Brightwell on my journeys.
That would be appreciated. Thank you, Gibbs.
Oh, of course. Pierce, you had something you wanted to say?
No, I think that's pretty good. But what I would like to do
Mhm.
is keep my eyes out for that bird.
Okay, roll me an active perception roll for the nearby future of walking around Primtier.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh, brutal.
We got a
Ooh.
really.
Brutal. It's
Damn,
a
could have
busy
used your
place, man.
inspiration, we all go.
It's a busy place, man. Busy place.
Good with cityscapes. Do I get advantage? No.
So,
Do I burn my inspiration? No.
So, yeah. If anyone else has nothing else for Gibbs, he'll just wave it off.
Yes, I do actually have one thing for Gibbs.
Yep.
Gibbs, you mentioned your merchant friends.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there's a gonna get low. A different kind of market around.
Kind of looks around and he checks. What do you? He kind of like leans in as well and whispers. What exactly are you looking for?
It's
Oh.
also something to sell off.
Is it? What kind of merchandise are we talking here?
Kind of lifts up his left arm.
His eyes widen.
This.
Hmm. Didn't hear it from me, but there are markets in the lower districts of Primtier. Possibly asking around there might start helping. Just be careful. Tiny Queen doesn't take to many things, and one of them is the trade of living creatures. So please be wary.
We will, Gibbs. Thank you.
Gives you kind of like a acknowledging nod. Anyway, kind of steps away and kind of acts as if it's all normal. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you all around and don't get yourselves lost here.
We'll do our best.
Satchels up
Actually,
his...
that's a good question, Brandon.
Yeah?
You continue.
No, he's just going to say he satchels up his backpack and begins going away and starts talking to some other guards further away to start escorting his merchandise to where it needs to go, probably the lower docks.
I just was going to ask how my ear to the ground feature would work from my background.
Read it up to me and possibly I can help.
Just because it's me. You are in frequent contact with people in the segment of society that your chosen quarries move through. These people might be associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and tumble folk of the streets, or members of high society. This connection comes in the form of a contact in any city you visit, a person who provides information about the people and places of the local area.
Okay.
But me being me, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I would
so
find
we will
that.
say, because obviously you've never been here before, you're on a different continent, but I will say instead of just having a contact, we'll say that you're quite good at being able to find people that are within the same ring as you, and you'll probably have an easier time identifying the people within that circle.
So I would know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, essentially, and those people will be able to be more accommodating for you as well. They'll be like, oh, I know who this guy is, or I know what type of person this guy is. So.
Okay. Hjarlgron, you want to deal with that first before we do anything else?
We can do. And I look to Ambrose. You're going to be quite helpful on this as well.
Oh, I'm perfectly down. What are we doing?
I'll lift up my left arm slightly. We're pawning off some merchandise.
Oh, that sounds fun. Of course.
I'll turn to the rest of the group who isn't sneaky and conniving. What do you guys want to do? We're on a shop run.
Well, I'm looking for a diamond.
I think before we split, the best thing to do is find a place of respite, and then we can convene there.
Meet
Afterwards.
afterwards.
We know a good place to go.
It's a good idea.
Onwards to the inn.
Find the nearest random person and just ask them.
Or actually, while Gibbs is running off, we'll stop him actually.
Okay.
Hey Gibbs, before you run off.
Finishes having a conversation with one of the gods and turns to you. "Oh, you guys still haven't left yet?
Not yet. We need a place to bunk down for the night.
Take your pick. More taverns here than there probably is anywhere else. He starts thinking.
Looking for a seasoned traveler's insight.
I'd say that my favorite place, and not too expensive, comfortable but affordable. I'd probably go with the Prancing Doe.
The Prancing Doe. Okay. And we'll be able to find it here.
You'd be able to.
Thank you.
Yeah, he kind of gives you the instructions. It's owned by a lovely young woman called Alicia. She's very nice. She's very welcoming. So, and like I said, quite affordable still for considering the prices of the capital. Everything here is probably going to be a tiny bit more expensive, by the way, folk. It is the capital and all.
Makes sense.
How do you spell the woman's name?
Alicia. Alicia.
That's how you pronounce it.
Elysium?
Alicia.
Y'all love that
go.
movie.
Thank you very much.
And the Prancing Doe. Somewhere in the middle regions of Primtier. Anything else?
I think
That'll
that's
be all for now.
Most things are signposted anyway. It's feels like you're almost travelling whilst you're within Primtier. There's signposts for different places, so it shouldn't be too hard to find your ways around. And I
Thank
recommend
you.
before you go, you should definitely check out the Palace of Cards. It points to the large palace.
Palace of Cards.
Is that a gambling house?
No, God, no. It's the Queen's abode.
Oh.
Tarot card. Oh, I see. Like
Tarot
tarot
cards?
cards?
You'll probably find out where any Tapsus knows where it gets its name from when you visit.
Tarot cards.
Because it's made of cards.
He looks at it. Sure, I don't know if a Palace of Cards would be able to stand these days, but it is a good tourist spot to check out.
It's essentially what we are, tourists. I like that.
There's also several other places of interest that you could, visit whilst you're around. But like I said, everything's signed and posted.
Signed and posted and signposted. Very good.
Find a signpost that points to the lower district.
Very well. Until next
Okay,
time.
Gibbs. Give a wave.
Yeah, he actually gets off and leaves and begins taking his wagons to the docks now.
Yeah, like I said, I'll find a signpost that's got lower district on or anything.
Yeah. He was completely right. As you guys begin walking and you feel the leather boots kind of do that typical click against the marbled floor as you all walk around, or, well, I guess your boots wouldn't, Hjarlgron, because yours are probably just fur, so yours would just be against soft ground. But yeah, you'd be able to start walking around, plenty of people, and everything is indeed signposted by these large signposts that are normally attached to lampposts, and there's like these signs that give a bunch of different locations, and you'd be able to find one that guides you to the lower district quite easily if that's where you guys want to go first.
Yeah.
I know 3 of us want to go this way. I don't know if all of us do.
Well,
That's why I asked everybody else.
well, do you want to do a quick checklist? What's everyone wanting to do?
We're gonna go do sneaky things in the black market. Don't worry about it.
Sell the egg.
Get fat cash.
Steal something from a wizard.
Oh, wait a second.
Huh?
Wait a second.
I don't want no parts in that part.
Whoa.
That sounds
Wait,
like a
wait.
good way to die.
This is what I wanted. Doesn't say I'm gonna do it.
I mean, we have a wizard in
Oh
our
my god,
party.
I
List
can
on the to-do
actually,
list.
I can actually imagine Ambrose being the type of person to have like a checklist in a fucking large city, being like, fuck a noble, steal something from a wizard, steal someone's like fucking cello or something, and like just really
Call someone a
stupid, like,
slur.
yeah, a list of really like stupid random shit to do.
Oh,
All right, it's time to whip out the new town bingo.
Like a big
Eldrith.
scroll that just like goes
the
down to
new
the floor.
town
Right.
bingo. Eldrith,
Yes, Pierce.
do you reckon you can keep your eye out for that bed? See what comes of that?
Why are you so concerned over a singular brown?
We're being spied on, aren't we?
I mean, it is kind of obvious, Eldrith. We're being followed. Why would
It
you
is,
not be
but-
worried? The fact that you're not
Well-
kind of has me concerned, if anything.
Well, so far there's no immediate effects, and if there's no
Yet.
immediate effects, it doesn't bother me really.
That means they're watching longer, finding more information to then use against us. Thought you would have been a bit smarter on this one, Eldrith.
Well, it's just something that doesn't capture my attention.
I see. Very one-track minded.
It
To be fair,
seems
the
this,
thing
and
that
I don't see the danger, at least not yet.
When it happens, you'll know. Then
Probably.
you won't be thinking like that anymore.
Maybe. Until then, though, a bird's a bird. And if I see it again, I suppose I'll point it out.
and credit where credit is due. Your task you're looking into is quite spectacular.
Well, I have a bit of a personal mystery on my hands now, so.
You don't suppose you killed the fellow?
I mean, the chances are slim. I don't
Like,
see
never
why I
zero.
would.
Something went terribly wrong with some magic, and you blew him up, and then you buried him, and the stress caused you to have a bit of a psychological break, and then you forgot the whole thing.
More likely for him to do that to me, really.
Write that down, write that down.
Oh, Jesus.
No, just a suggestion. It happens.
Or who knows? You could have imagined it all along. Just like little hand movements.
Yes, maybe you were alone in that tower. There's no one ever there with you.
Write it
Maybe
down,
It
write
was
it
Wow.
just
down.
you.
Maybe you are the man after all, and you've forgotten.
All very interesting hypotheses, but nothing to prove it yet. Perhaps I'll find the answer once I pay home a visit. It's not far from here, granted.
Come on up.
You live within the city?
Not quite.
To be fair,
My man doesn't use his eyes, bro.
to be fair,
I'm very lost. I don't know my way around on Moonhill. That makes more sense.
Brightwell Tower.
That's another, like,
fucking
4
so
days.
far. What do you mean, Chief?
That's ages away.
Brightwell's fucking miles away, bro.
Brightwell.
I was gonna say, bro.
That's like a
Where is
fucking,
Brightwell?
that's like a month, maybe more journey, depending on how you fucking decide to get there.
We're gonna go across the Nova Bridge into Edom with all the e-girls.
Just a quick
The
visit.
I
E-girls.
hate this.
Oh,
place.
yeah.
I
Don't
love
worry.
Edon with all its e-girls. Thanks,
Go
Brandon,
through
for
the
making this
Wayward
wonderful
Ridge.
place.
Wayward Ridge, which would be in
Okay.
itself several weeks since it's fucking mountain and caverns.
Dale, to then Veronia, and then you gotta somehow fucking skedaddle through the woods all the way to the tower.
Well, to him,
Who
it's felt like no time at all has passed, so.
Oh no, he's got some fucked up thing in his mind with time.
You timey
Damn.
wimey bassy bitch.
To him, he just walked down the road, fell asleep, and he was there, so. Who knows?
Crazy.
Eldrith, you poor soul. Right. If no one else is joining us, I suppose we'll get this done real quick. Meet up at the Prancing Doe.
Okay.
Very well. So let's get stomping off towards the lower district.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. So we're gonna obviously, because I want a lot of this to be RP, because there's a lot of people that you need to meet and places to see and stuff like that. So if we are breaking stuff up, Ambrose and Celwydd seem to be having a nice day out. Maybe go and do some shopping.
Yeah, I've bailed on the egg group.
Yeah, it
Who's
went
taking
from,
Doi?
yes to ooh.
It was like
tailored trip.
It is.
Wait, who's taking Doi? Who's looking after
Are
the
you
child?
taking the child to the black market?
We don't really want to
Yeah,
take the child to the black
Everyone got
market.
15
You're
gold,
gonna
by
get
the way, Toast.
abducted and sold off to someone.
It was
Who
75,
wants
so
to
15
look after
gold
the
each.
child? Who's on babysitting duty?
What are the
guys.
two groups?
They've, at the moment, there's only one group being. Well, no, I lied. No, you're right too. Two of them. So Ambrose and Celwydd are going to the shopping district, see if they can get themselves maybe some autumn/winter clothes, maybe just a little touch up, or having a look for some straps for their harp and other such things. Basically, just a bit of a shopping break. It is starting to get into the colder months, and we will need some winter clothing soon, since Kelmont is known for getting very cold.
I'll go shop.
Yes.
Alright, so
What
Doi
type
goes-
of shopping?
Yes.
And then we
Clothes.
have the other side, which at the moment is Hjarlgron and Piers. I don't know if anyone else is going.
Ambrose as well.
He thinks I
No,
will be
Ambrose is going
Ambrose is
shopping.
No,
tailored
Ambrose is-
shopping.
I bailed.
Ah,
So who else? Sorry, Chibi.
I'm going shopping.
Alright, so there's going shopping.
So we've got
Doi's going
4
shopping. So Eldrith.
Surely there's a library somewhere for me
No,
to just sit and read. Surely.
oh yeah, we
There's
sharing out
a
that-
university.
75
I'll
gold.
do you one better.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking hell, I'm about to get a
Room full
PhD.
of
He's
Room
gonna
full
do
of
the Kai
scholars.
special. He's got a
Hell,
PhD for fun, guys.
Bloody hell.
Kelmont and
Also,
not that it would be common knowledge, but Kelmont and Lingard, again, one of the other continents that we know nothing about, but Lingard, those are the only two places in the entirety of Equin that have now only just in the following years have begun actually doing like teaching schools and academies and universities, like actual teaching of kids and growing up into university and stuff like that.
So basically, all I want to do is once those guys sell the egg, if my gold reaches the cap, I want to get a 50 GP diamond, and then just the university, library, place.
So you're going with them
That's all
to
I
do
wanna
the
do.
selling and then go to the university, or just going straight to the uni?
I'm just gonna go straight. I'm not gonna follow them. It interests me not.
I want you to know the money from this egg goes to no one except the amulet.
No, I'm gonna start the fucking.
This is a
stealing
selfish
people.
request to make our
This is
druid not a fucking pitiful piece of shit.
Well, in that case, the 50 GP diamond can wait. I only have 28.
I'll pawn you 32 or 22. Sorry,
22.
I have 70 gold. Don't worry.
You don't need gold anyway, do you, Hjarlgron?
No, but for coming
It's for
up
the amulet.
This, but you now have 22 extra, so you now have the 50.
Ah.
There you go.
Alright.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's...
Let's still have fun.
Does Doi get pocket money?
No,
he has
he's got a
Scandal.
fucking amulet with God knows how much. He doesn't get any pocket
True.
money. It's not allowed pocket money
Okay.
anymore.
Doesn't know what Pokemon he is.
Let's
This is
tackle
all the allowance he'll ever have.
what I'm assuming will be shortest to longest. So let's tackle shopping first.
Shopping.
Shopping.
So,
Wrong.
yeah, this
You-
honestly, it could be either way for both, to be honest. So we'll see.
This is where
I'm
we
just,
get
I'm just
Ambrose
saying
back
that
to
the
life.
likeliness of some shit going south is more likely with trying to sell an illegal egg rather than shopping. So I'm just going with what's less likely to cause shit and more likely to cause shit. So anyway, we'll follow first through the
You don't understand. You're taking the
marvelous
shit stirrer with you.
through the marvelous polished streets of Primtier. We will follow Syldia, Celwydd, Ambrose, and Doi. As easy enough as you guys walk around, I imagine for maybe the first 10 minutes, and it's maybe a bit of just walking around in awe at this city, looking at statues
Yeah.
that are all kind of formed with lots of different depictions. You see many statues of the Tiny Queen herself, which you wouldn't know until you read the plaque that says the Tiny Queen, which depicts basically a child in some royal robes and a splendorful kind of crown at its top. And behind it, this kind of large, almost guardian angel-like figure that seems to emanate from her shadow. Almost like a stan behind it, basically. So, there are many others. You would also come across a statue from in one of the town squares. As you guys are heading towards the shopping district, you'd have to go through the main town square that kind of the palace overlooks. And here, at its center, you would see another big statue, but this one isn't in commemoration of the queen here. This one is for a chap, a man that seems to be called Vasilis, the Light Might. Any of you may, if you wish, do a religion check to know who this figure is, or if not, if you're just kind of walking past, then you may think nothing of it.
Any of
Religion.
us?
I'm so good at religion,
Sillies.
guys.
Alright, Syldia. As you guys are walking past and just taking in the awe of this place and the architecture and the wonders and the craftsmanship. In the center, you do see some people kind of on benches in this place, maybe staring at the statue, just people in general looking at it, maybe a couple of painters trying to paint it. The statue, the plaque on it reads Vasilis, the Light's Might. You are aware that Vasilis is no other than a champion of light chosen by Aimee. Vasilis was perhaps the most surprising choice amongst all of the champions. He was an ordinary human, but that is exactly why he was chosen. Because humans were believed to be undomitable forces that were believed to persevere through all changes of life. Vasilis was known for his mastery of every single weapon and art style and martial art style of any country and every region. He had said that he could beat anyone with any weapon, and his artifact was a bangle of gold that would rest above his arm that would be able to turn into any weapon that he sees fit at any given time.
I don't think he considered that I'd win, though.
He is literally the embodiment of I'd win.
Man,
No.
it's so good he wasn't alive when guns were a thing, because he would just kill everybody.
Yeah, he's...
Oh god, instant proficiency.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys cross by this, and some of the knowledge that comes to. Maybe there's a reason as to why Vasilis is particularly here, and it's a statue for just Vasilis. Maybe this is something that you might find out later. But regardless, you follow more signs and stuff that lead you to the shopping district. Now, this is the most kind of long road, LA stand-in road going. It is a huge, straight road of marble that is very wide, and down the middle, splitting it into kind of two lanes almost, is a bunch of trees, like, potted into the ground, and flower beds, and benches. And there are shops just scattered on the entire left side, and then on the entire right side. It is just a huge, long road that breaks down, like, through the middle of an entire quarter of the city, and there is just shops scattered on either side.
A strip mall?
Literally.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
I looked at Doy and don't wander off.
Okay.
Hold his hand.
However, if you see something you like, maybe we'll get it for you.
Okay.
Literally parenting him.
Oh my god, he's gonna pick something deranged.
I want this
I found a
child.
friend.
Yeah.
Oh, good god.
Found a rat in the
What?
gutter.
What is everyone looking for?
Druid lady said there were more Warforged.
Right, I'm not sure we'll find one in the shop, but we'll have a look.
Okay.
Warforged are us.
Jim, no,
Toy
Jim's
the
Warforged.
toy version. It's like one of those
Oh my
little.
god, you go in and it's like Toy Story with all the Buzz Lightyears.
It's
and
just
it's all
toys.
toy.
Amazing.
Mom, I want a new tier core.
You just got yourself a tier core last week, darling.
Anyway.
All right. And Syldia, what are you looking for?
Nothing in particular. I just thought I'd accompany you.
Oh, we're just window shopping. Go with.
She kind of like gestures to a harp that she's holding under her arm. I'd like to see if I can get a strap made for this. Just so it's easier to carry along.
I'd imagine a leather worker, a tailor, perhaps, or even if there's a music shop somewhere, they might have something.
Yes, I was thinking an instrument shop or a tailor, either way.
Well, you know, just getting a bit nippy. Maybe we could get some nice little clothes for the winter. I was thinking perhaps a fancy scarf.
I could see you in a fur coat.
Oh, people have. What do you think, Doy? Would a fur coat suit me?
No.
Oh.
You can always count on a child for a brutally honest opinion.
Well, I stopped wearing them. Stopped wearing them for a reason, I suppose.
Long coats and clothes hang.
Well, I'm wearing a long coat.
Awkward.
Well, there's
Maybe.
nothing wrong with my style. Let's go in a tailor. Let's maybe get some nice little outfits and.
As
you know,
long
see
as
what
they are
suits.
tight clothes like you normally wear.
Precisely. All right, we will head. I guess try and find like a tailor or like a music shop. Or both.
I was about to say you can find both. So
All
it's
right.
up to you.
You know, want to go tailor first? You think?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go in there. And I'm just gonna say to Doy that don't leave the shop while we're in here. But if you see something you like, just tell me. Don't pick it up. Don't mess with anything.
Okay,
Don't
you.
take anything.
Look, don't touch.
All right. As you walk down the strip,
And-
you're going to the tailors.
Yeah, tailors.
Okay. So as you walk down the strip, there are plenty that you can look into and peer and do some window shopping. But the one that seems to kind of really hold your attention is a large shop that, instead of having this kind of like marbled exterior with this white elegant stone, it seems to be this dark kind of oaky wood that kind of stands out a bit from the other shops that are around it, with these tall glass windows that have these body mannequins wearing all sorts of like elegant and different clothing. Some of them have scarves wrapped around them, and others that have these large shawls and coats, hats, and all sorts. And this one seems to pick your interest a bit more. As you see this large building, you see plenty of people wandering in and out of it. And yeah, you guys may welcome yourselves in. And as you enter into it, the carpet of this place is a very clean, velveted red carpet that goes over this entire flooring. Everything here is kind of like trying to be displayed on these body mannequins. And then there's also racks and shelves that have some other clothes as well. And it seems that behind the counter, the owner of all of this, ironically enough, is indeed a warforged.
Hey.
A warforged, tall, slender build that seems to be wearing a tux and has a top hat as part of his decoration. He seems to have this slender bow tie and seems to be very happily kind of engaged with several customers. Plenty of people in here and plenty of stuff to have a look at. So what would you like to find?
I'm going to look through several scarves and sort of hold them over sort of my like sort of neckline and chest, trying different colors, and look at Celwydd. What do you think? Red for the coat or white for my skin? And this, of course, lining here.
Maybe red for the season. Is there any white trim?
I could get red with white trim, I think.
That's the one.
Alright, we'll go with that then. Doy? Something wrong?
Red will stick out in the snow.
I'm wearing red.
I didn't.
Awkward.
Correct.
I've always stood out in the snow. It's the only way I can. I'm pale as a ghost. Doy, I need bright clothes.
Sorry, I'm just used to camouflage.
Camouflage? Kind of an elven word is that?
I heard it in, hold on, this is a me problem.
Oh, he's glitching.
I heard it in Arwindale.
Right, I see. Learning new words.
Pulled that out of his ass, but that's actually very fitting. Good job.
Good save, good save. Right. Well, anyway, Doy, red is my color. Right, reds and whites, they go very well, and then a little bit of black here and there. It's a very nice neutral color scheme, you know? Well, not neutral, but like it goes well with each other. It blends.
Blends with blood.
Well, exactly, and in our line of work, I think having a red coat is very practical. If blood gets on you, but you can't tell, you know?
I understand.
I learned that trick in Arwindale.
I did not.
Just checking the map real quick to remind myself where that even is.
On the
I vaguely remember.
western
Top
side.
left?
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking hell. Never been there.
Never been there.
Never been there. What about you, Celwydd? What kind of colours do you like?
I would be looking through at like maybe something autumn colors, so like brown, orange.
Lovely.
Match of the season. Very good. You know what? While we're here, I'm going to start browsing through hats as well.
It's definitely got plenty of a selection. This man seems to enjoy his hat.
What do you say to this? And he sort of like picks out like not like a top hat, but you know the ones that are quite low, flat sort of top hats. Like they're not super tall, but quite low.
Bowler hat.
Not rounded, not like they've still got the shape of a top hat, but they don't go very far at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of hat they're called. Yeah, I'd pick out one of those that's like a dark sort of red. What do you think?
What about something more pointy?
Pointy? I'm not a wizard.
No, I mean like a tri-pointed hat.
I'm not a captain on a ship either.
Well, what's this hat for?
Well, I don't know. I'm a gentleman of refined taste. Do you not think it echoes that?
The shade of red is off.
What do you mean it's off?
It doesn't match the coat.
So? I know it's a little bit off, but like at the end of the day, it's still red.
Sure.
Oh, now you've got me thinking about it. Shit. Let's talk to that chap over there and see if he's got a different shade. He's going to wander over to the Warforged at the desk and.
Just thought it would be something that you would care about.
Well, it is now that I'm thinking about it. I was going to just impulse buy and think about it later.
Hate it later.
Yeah. If he sort of puts the hat down on
What was I thinking?
puts the hat down on the counter. Excuse me, sir.
Turns around. A man after my own taste. Hats. Is this one for you, sir?
Yes, I was just wondering, do you think you could maybe colour match this to this coat? And also the scarf as well, so complete the full ensemble, as it were.
Oh, dear. Perhaps I do have the exact shade that you might need. Just give me a quick second, why don't you? He takes that hat and brings it to the back.
He's taller than you are, Doy. Much taller. Do they make them as short as you usually?
He's very lanky.
He's eating the shrapnel.
Oh my god, no, I can't do it.
You got it.
Everyone is taller than me.
Oh. Perhaps you were the first attempt, you know? They only had so many bits and pieces to put together.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up. Well, maybe you're the fucked up prototype.
I could
He's
use.
so portable.
I could use more parts.
Ooh. That's a good point. What if we, like, extended your legs?
You saying we could make him taller?
Yeah.
Are you
Stretch
saying
him.
we
want to
could
be
borrow
taller,
other Warforged legs?
Calf,
Oh my
the
God, we're
owner of the shop, comes back out. With a kind of like a silk cloth, and he's dusting off the top of this hat, like polishing it. Yeah, try this. It might be slightly better for what you're looking for.
There we go. And sort of spins it in his fingers, pops it on his head. Puts the scarf around his neck. There, what do we think?
Oh, ravishing, sir. I think it's quite a good fine choice.
Now you match.
I
There
like
we go.
people that
Wait.
buy a suit in its entirety.
You think I'm ravishing?
Oh, if I had to say so myself. Not many people could pull off a hat like that. And he tips his own, which is very similar to the one that you...
Well, I suppose I'll take the lot then. And also, while we're here, maybe perhaps a few things for my companion here, whatever she wants. And also, we have a friend who you may be able to help. He's got a few questions. Dory, and sort of looks down.
Hi. Do you have one of these? And he's gonna pull out the broken, not broken, the purple and blue tear shaped
red,
fragment.
purple, and blue, yeah. He kind of looks down at it. It looks like some sort of jewel. You're to tailors, my friend. I'm not sure if I can help you there.
Okay.
Or...
No, Dory, this is you're supposed to ask more questions for context.
Okay. What is this?
So,
Just bring something to somebody. What is this? That is.
that's a good question. Not exactly Cornelius from the university, am I?
No,
Is the name Cornelius?
we'll have to go there then.
Who
Is Cornelius a wizard?
Cornelius?
He knows things, and I believe he is capable of magic. That does, I suppose, fit him into the category of magician or wizard.
A small twinkle appears in Ambrose's eye. Perhaps we need to go there, Doy. Perhaps pay this wizard a visit to see what he has.
Maybe that's where Eldrith is.
Well, exactly. I suppose the knowledgeable sort, they do tend to gather together in small groups because, you know, there's not many of them. Geniuses, few and far between, and very antisocial.
This is true. And for the lady.
Ah, yes. And I'll put the dress that I've selected on the counter.
Oh, autumn colors as we slowly see them fade into the beautiful snows winter. I like your choices. People of fashion.
Also wondering if I could get either here or maybe you know somewhere else, if I could get a strap made for this harp of mine. It's getting really heavy.
Oh, well, I can make you a leather strap for that. It shouldn't be too difficult. A drop to put in. give me an hour or so to make it fit what you need, and you can come pick it up.
That would be great.
Of course. Well, he starts kind of looking at the stuff, counting it up. So that's a hat, a scarf, and then the clothes. That's 5. And then you want a dress, another 3. 8 golden pieces for the set of clothes and the dress. And then you would like to put in a commission, shall we say, to make a strap for your harp. Well, you know what? Considering you're buying all of this, I'll put it in for just a quick 2 golden pieces. So 10 total.
I've got this, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
No, allow me, honestly. It's, you've been most polite and great company, so it's the least I can do.
It's wonderful to see that chivalry is not quite dead yet. A gentleman...
Chivalry dies when I do, dear sir.
Nods his hat to that. He is very in line with that.
And hopefully that won't be for a long time. I plan to live until I am practically ancient. Almost so that I could rival an archdruid, and then I can tell everyone all about how history was so different than they have it. I could be the biggest know-it-all in the land.
I wish you well on that task, but perhaps you might be looking for something that may extend your life then, sir.
Oh, that's why I wanted to visit a wizard.
Oh, I see.
There was some trinkets.
Don't think they've quite discovered the secret to immortality yet.
No. But anything that gets you to the next town is living longer than you would have been without it, so I'll take what I can find.
Very well. He kind of bags them up in some nicely made kind of sewn bags for you and puts everything into them. And they're marked with the shop's name, which is called New Polish. And it's kind of in a very nice
My God.
golden kind of logo, and it's kind of like a swirly fancy N with a P going through it. And he hands you the bag over.
Well, and I'm just going to immediately take the hat and put it on. There we go. Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you. Enjoy Primtier.
Oh, we shall. We shall very much. And I will sort of proceed outwards.
Very well. Where are you all heading to now?
If we don't have any of the specific shopping to do, we could go to the university and try and find. Is that where Eldrith went?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, we could try and find Eldrith and proceed Doy's questions that way instead.
As we're on the way, Ambrose,
Yes, my small rotund friend.
why do people wear hats?
It really depends. Some of them are functional, and some of them are just fashionable.
Why? Or why?
So let's say humanoids like ourselves, if their little ears get cold in the winter, they buy like a hat with little dangly bits that can cover their ears, or perhaps like a big sort of fur hat, and that keeps your ears warm. It's just a comfort thing, but it serves a function. This thing that I have on is just fashionable, and it just makes me look better.
I understand. It is ornamentation.
Exactly, yes. That's how it works.
You do.
I've heard that hats are sort of coming back in, you see, so while I might not be able to pull off a fur coat very well anymore, who says I can't do a little top hat?
I agree.
You, who would obviously be in the know-it of fashion, Ambrose, would know that a lot of people around you here are wearing these kind of like twin-tail coats and hats, and these kind of like tucked-in blouses and shirts with ties and stuff like that. And it seems to be coming from a fashionista in Lingard, so many nautical miles away. But it seems to be the more fashionable and kind of like, for at least the upper class, it seems to be the in.
What's vogue currently?
I mean, yeah, indicates the fact that I basically have a twin-tailed coat and a ruffled shirt. It's like- it's, it is very hot right now, you know.
I feel so genuinely delighted that Ambrose just like taught him something, and he was like, "I understand."
He's
Taught him
slowly-
something.
Very well.
Of fashion.
Then we find ourselves panning over to Eldrith, who would already have found himself at the university, walking along the beautiful streets of Primtier. A tall building, one that seems antique in its design, but almost, in a way, attempted to be modernized. It has these long, clean banners that sit on the outside, flattened walls that have the sigil of the Tiny Queen, which is the Tiny Queen's side profile looking downwards with the crown up on her head. And that seems to be the sigil that's on the banners of the university. And you can see students of different ages, mainly at least young 20s minimum, walking in and out of the university with stacked books or scrolls and getting on with their days. But yeah, the building is large, sort of a bit overwhelming as well with the sheer amount of people walking in and out, but present nonetheless. What do you want to do?
Is there like a main building, like an administration building,
Definitely,
or just like a place where like the first one you would enter to find your way around?
Yeah,
so I guess that would be administration.
It definitely seems like this building with the two banners with the Tiny Queen sigils on them definitely seems like the main university building with the lectures and the studying, etc. There might be smaller scattered buildings around on a smaller scale campus, I suppose, but generally this seems to be the main building.
Onwards there then. Let's find my way around before I don't know, stumble into like an experimentation room and you get turned into a toad permanently. Who knows?
Venturing into the university, you would see on the entrance, kind of the plaque on this large door, it says the Gloomwick University. That's the name of the place.
Gloomwick. How very... Oh, God. How very charming.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the
Very inviting.
staple, like this brass plaque on the front door as you open the door. It leads up into a very open plan, open space hall, with plenty of people kind of walking around in robes or in their own shirts and just kind of like going around. But you are very quickly called over to a table on the side, where there are two people, a man and a woman, each partaking to a different side of this, I suppose, kind of receptionist desk in the best possible way. She stands up and goes around the desk to greet you. Oh, you must be new here. I haven't seen your face enter into the Gloomwick University yet.
Yes, I just recently arrived. And, well, I seem to have wandered into campus.
Oh, are you a new enrolled student into the Gloomwick University, or are you just here having a check?
Oh, no, I'm just, I suppose, sightseeing.
She lets out a laugh. Oh, I see. Please feel free to walk around campus and maybe ear into some of the different lectures and study halls if you so wish.
Oh, I'd be delighted to. But would there be an open library somewhere?
Yes, the Gloomwick study hall is just down there on the left wing.
Okay.
You won't be able
what's
to
on the
take any
opposite?
materials out from the library, not being a student and all, but you are more than happy to divulge into them and explore the pages at the university.
So what's on the opposite end?
Ah,
The other wing.
The right wing is resigned for lectures and, I suppose, halls of study, as well as the classrooms for all of our individual teachers.
And I am free to observe these lectures, assuming I behave.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Are there any that focus on astrology? Study of the stars, maybe?
I believe we do have an Azure Magus on campus who is giving some conversations recently.
Brilliant. You happen to know which classroom they're in? Or which hall?
She kind of heads back to the desk, flips through this open book, reads through the different teacher names and where they're giving class and what times, different timetables. You can see her finger scouting out. Let's see. Lectures on astrology. Oh, here we go. Farron. Farron seems to be given a lecture in classroom 1B. It should start in roughly about 30 minutes or so.
Well, I suppose in 30 minutes, I'll wander around the library for a while and then hop in.
She nods at you, of course. It's no problem. If you wish to consider and inquire about enrollment, then please feel free to speak to Professor Cornelius.
Cornelius?
He's our high
And-
academic.
So like a headmaster?
Yes.
Where might I find this Professor Cornelius?
I believe his study is just up those stairs. She points up the stairs that lead up to the second floor. Up those stairs, and it's the first room on the left.
I'll give it some thought. Maybe during the course of the lecture and my time in the library.
She smiles. Very well. Enjoy your knowledge.
Thank you for your time. And he's gonna trot his way over.
Heading into the library. I'm assuming?
Yep.
Alright.
For the 30 minutes, you know.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Eventually, over the course of time, you guys would also arrive at the university. My friend Celwydd and Doy, Syldia, and Ambrose would also arrive at the university. With the same entry hall described as I did earlier, bellowing in front of you.
Well, this is rather extravagant. Is the same person like hanging around behind the?
Yeah, if you walk into the university, yeah, there would be two people behind the desk, a woman and a man.
Good day, fellow academics. I'm just wondering, has a strange individual asking about perhaps constellations been through here recently? He's about yay big, whitish hair, sort of small nose.
Oh, yes, I was just having a conversation with him, no, about 20 minutes ago or something like that. He's in the library, I believe, waiting for a lecture.
Waiting for a... Rolls his eyes. I couldn't sit through one of those if I tried. No offense. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. It's just, it could be a lot quicker, and they do tend to ramble on.
She kind of lets out a laugh, though. I suppose, university isn't for everyone.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's just the people delivering them. Sometimes they're just not great. You know, sometimes it's like they're just reading off of a script, and they could just send that script to all the people and save everyone some time.
Well, I can assure you, my friends, we have the best experts here, giving very, very insightful and perspective lectures.
All right, if you say so. Well, I'm just going to go and find my friend. He's just through down that hall.
Yes, the library's down that end. She points to the left wing.
Does this particular establishment teach magic, perhaps?
It does look into the study of the arcana, yes.
And there are some books on such things.
Of course, you could find them from any school of magic.
Excellent, thank you very much. And just sort of
She
walk
kind of like,
straight.
before you can't take any of them home, though. It's for students only.
Oh, I wouldn't be taking them home, don't worry.
Very well. Enjoy your day.
Nods. Head carries on. They don't know I don't have home to take them to.
You wander into this large library that seems almost bigger than itself. 3 floors tall, with a wide open berth in the middle that allows anyone over the balconies to look down to the bottom floor. It's almost got this huge open middle flooring that allows you to see all the way up through the university. There are humongous kind of shelvings and books that are stacked across everywhere, scrolls, and all of them seem to be separated into their order, into their categories alphabetically, and these shelves are made out of this kind of, again, this darkened kind of wood. And the carpet here seems to be a light blue with a white trimming. There are plenty of tables where people are sitting at with lit candles or just using the natural lighting from the chandeliers or anything that can come through the windows to study and maybe complete assignments or essays, or maybe they're just doing some revision.
Sort of not even quietly, just sort of like flings the door open as he comes in. Just like,
several students look your
Eldrith, are you
way.
in here?
Several of the students look
sir.
your way and raise eyebrows like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Has anyone seen my friend Eldrith? He's a little nerd with a star map.
He's a little nerd with a star map.
Very descriptive.
No one really seems to pay you any attention.
Money.
But you would be able to see on one, since it is an open plan, on one of the tables, your friend with his white hair sat down on a table with a couple of books.
Oh, there you are, and it just marches across the room. Eldrith, have you found anything?
I'm sorry, what? Oh.
You know, what you came here to look for something in particular about your special.
When did you get here?
Just now. Did you not hear me enter?
Frankly, no.
Oh, you really were buried in that thing. Is it really that interesting?
It's either that or your presence is just insignificant to me currently, but you pick.
We'll go with the first, because that was very rude. Do you
Was
know,
it? I'm
maybe
sorry.
perhaps in this
didn't
building
mean
where
to
I
go
might
away,
be
it's
able to
just-
find... No, go on. You carry on.
It's just what I thought currently, I suppose. Didn't mean to offend. If I did.
Well, something, honesty, best policy, I suppose. Do you know where I can find, like, sort of entry to mid-level wizard spell books, perhaps?
He taps the table thrice with his index finger and quickly comes to a conclusion. Don't you think that's best? That question is best left for the librarian?
Well, no, I just thought because you're a wizard that you might know about wizard things.
I suppose I do, but the layout of this library is a mystery to me. It's the same as me
where is
walking to someone's home. So,
I'm going to go searching, and I'm going to cast Unseen Servant. And just to this random, like, empty space next to him, Ambrose is just going to go, help me look for books, anything that might be related to sort of low-level wizard magic.
Kind of.
All right.
Notice
Enjoy your
him
time,
off
guys.
its go.
Head down. Just sort of, like, begins browsing shelves, and he's, like, pulling books off, looking at the cover, looking at the spine, opening the first couple of pages, and just sort of putting them like not even back where they were, just sort of like in haphazard piles on the shelf. So some of them are like the spines are like the first thing that goes in.
Oh no. What is it that you're specifically looking for? Like cantrips?
No, like sort of spell books that talk about how to cast like low level spells, like wizard spells. Not like any spells to be he's just looking, he's like
casting
curious.
spells for dummies. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd go around looking and doing it. Eventually you would be, after a while of searching around, you would be met with a tall, dark elf woman with silver hair in some dark robes and a pin on the side of the symbol of the academy. May I wonder what it is that you're doing with my books, sir?
I'm looking for a good one to read.
Then take your pick out of thousands, but please, when you're putting them back, make sure that they're in the correct form. And she takes one of the ones that you've just put in, like with the spine back. She takes it out, turns it back around, and places it in the correct place.
Oh, I do apologize. I'm just so excited. You see, I've never been in such a vast collection before.
And also, she
Puppy
pulls
dog
out
eyes over the glasses.
She also pulls out her wand from like one of the sleeve from under her large robe. And please do not cast spells in the academy, and just dispels your unseen servant.
Somewhere, 3 books that were floating around just clattered.
Perfectly cut scream.
I never saw a sign that said I couldn't.
No, it is in the policy of the academy. That is fine. Do not worry about it. You've now been warned.
Well, it's a harmless. Surely you know that. It's not going to do anything. It's just helping me find books.
I am aware, but sadly it rings the alarms, and we all have to notice it.
Oh, right. And someone on the way in told me that I couldn't take books home. Is that because I'm not a student?
Correct, sir.
Right. And if I wanted to take books home, would I have to go through a painful process to apply?
You'd have to enroll into the academy through Professor Cornelius.
And how would you know once I've been successful?
You would be given a pin.
Well, that sounds like it could take for ages.
Well,
what if I find the book of my dreams?
The application can be quite tedious, and we obviously do want to pick out the best out of the bunch.
I'll keep that in mind. People don't just steal books from here. Like, I thought that happens in all the libraries. Everywhere. People steal books all the time, never bring them back.
Oh, they've tried, yes, sir. Let's just say they don't really venture much further.
Do the books explode?
No, just the people.
Oh.
All of the books come with a glyph of warding on them.
That is a very good security policy. You should be very proud.
Thank you. I designed it myself.
How does it know it's if a student walks out that they're just not going to, you know?
She taps the pin. These pins basically are deactivating the glyph on the book temporarily whilst they hold it. It also allows them to cast spells within the academy without triggering anything. We've thought it all through, do not worry.
You know, that is... Wow. You wizards never cease to amaze, honestly. That's why I'm here looking. You know, I would like to myself learn how to become an wizard.
Then please, may you carry on your reading. Do not let me intervene. But please, put the books back in the correct places.
Of course, of course, of course. My apologies.
She places her hands back under, kind of like within each other's sleeves with the wand like slipping into them. She gives you a nod with a smile. Have a good day.
Same to you. I'm gonna wait till she's sort of gone.
Yep, leaves around the corner.
Is there a table of sort of like? Is there like a sort of lone student doing some work somewhere nearby?
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to find.
Okay.
Oh no.
What?
I could just only imagine what is about to occur.
I don't know what you mean. I'm gonna walk casually past the table that they're sort of on, carrying a book. What exactly are they sort of like sitting there reading? Are they making some notes?
They have
They
a tall, thick book on the left that's open to a page, and they're reading it on the left-hand side, and then they've got a piece of parchment on the right that they're writing onto. Like they're looking in between, back and forth, almost as if they're using it as a, I suppose, as a source whilst they're writing something.
All right, perfect. As I'm walking past, I drop the book onto the ink bottle.
Oh no. Kind of with the intention of just spilling it anywhere, or like purposely trying to like make sure it goes over his work?
More towards him, like on his clothes.
Give me a sleight of hand check. Let's see how bad this goes. The higher the number, the more accurate it is for the ink to go in him. The lower the number, the more accurate the ink's just going to splatter all over the place. 14, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You kind of walk on by. Are you kind of like faking a trip over or something?
Yeah, like, oh shit, bollocks.
Yeah.
Just drop the book.
You walk up. You purposely, with the tip of your boot, kind of kick the edge of the table to act as if you're like tripping over. Whoops! The book falls over, slams against the bottle of ink, and it just scatters across his robes. Oh, God. What?
Oh my god, I am so sorry.
He looks at his work. It's okay. There's only a couple of blotches of ink at the bottom part of his work, so that at least the work isn't destroyed. But his robes are covered.
I'm sorry. It's these glasses. You see, they sort of like they obscure my vision. I really need to stop wearing them.
Yes, that's what happens when you wear onyx to be able to use and see through. Genius.
I have very sensitive eyes. It was a birth defect. Okay, don't take the piss. Listen, I did not mean for that to happen. Let me hear. Let me sort of
no.
Sort of moving
and he's like moving yours. He's like trying to get your hands up. No, just you've done enough. Done enough.
No, look, it's got on your notes, and I sort of try to wipe a bit of the ink off.
He kind of like stands up, and you can see him like formally not push away aggressively, but like stand around. Just no, enough. Just go.
All right.
Just go.
I'm sorry.
No, just go.
I'll go and get you some new ink.
No, don't get me anything. I don't want to see you again. Just leave. Just go. I don't need this. He kind of closes the book with like in the correct page, puts it under his arm, lifts up his sheet of paper. You're lucky my essay wasn't ruined. Puts it in the book as well, and he storms off.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Bro, that poor fucking guy, man.
Can you imagine that?
That's so mean, dude.
That'd be awful.
Like how painstaking to write and do research back then, and like everything is a oh god.
Yeah, and fucking
That's why
washing
it's
machines
still
don't
him.
exist, so his robes are just fucked with ink now.
Oh, come on, he's a
Fucked her.
wizard. Prestidigitation, man.
You don't know he's a wizard. He might just be a first-year scholar.
He might be,
Might
yeah.
just be
Can't
some
even
guy.
do prestidigitation yet.
Oh.
He will remember this. It comes up in the top left corner.
He's
You just meant the
Origin
BBEG.
story.
Yeah.
Agitated scholar will remember this.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh,
I
she
hope
said
this
my
characters
back
are
is
like our
swelled.
cabbage seller.
I want to go around like the next bookshelf and see if there's any other students just hanging around.
Yeah, there'd be loads. Some of them are looking at you, and when they do notice you, they like purposely move to the next shelf along, or like pick up their stuff from a table and move to a table further away after what they've just seen.
yeah.
Everyone's purposely trying to avoid you now.
Oh, Oh, not even like round the back of other areas. and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, yeah. You would be able to like go to a different place around the
Okay.
corner and no one would know. Yeah.
I do that. I'm gonna find a student. Is there anyone that looks like they're really struggling, like having a bad time?
Yeah, one kid's got his like head in his hands, like scrunching up his hair, and he's like trying to
Oh,
read this book, and he's just like, nah, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I've been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Approach. I very calmly pull up a chair.
And this young man with messy, dark hair turns to. Sorry, what can I help you with?
Oh, actually, it's more. What can I help you with? I noticed you were struggling.
no.
You seem stressed.
Let's out a sigh. Yes, my exams are coming up next week, and I have no idea about any of this.
What is it that you're looking at?
Currently looking at the School of Divination. Just don't understand all of these cantrips that are working here, and the components make no sense, and the way it works, and supposed to be able to cast this spell, and I have no idea. And he just shows you this kind of like standard cantrip of divination. Just,
You said the components don't make sense.
yes, I mean, they told me that with our arcane focus, we don't need to worry about it. But then I'm thinking about, well, how do I muster the confidence to be able to use my arcane focus? And every time I try and cast the spell, nothing happens.
No, maybe you're just not properly sort of connected to it, you know? And material-wise, this makes perfect sense if you just think about what is it that you need to cast, and what is the most sort of close-aligned ingredient. For example, if I wanted to, say, cast, let's say, like, a fireball, you know, which I can't. I wish I could. I would simply need, like, I think it's a pinch of sulfur, because, you know, sulfur comes from volcanoes and fire and things like that, the hells, you know? So you think of things that are similarly aligned, and the components, they basically write themselves. And as I'm talking, I'm going to sort of put a hand on his other shoulder and just sort of, like, give him a reassuring shake.
Yeah. Suppose you're right. Maybe for this one I have to head over to the church. Sometimes the cathedrals hold better knowledge of divination than the arcana. Taps on the table.
If it's divination you're after, I mean, perhaps do you know any, like, what are they called these days? Soothsayers, seers, that kind of people? Do they still hang around? Or are they very much a...
Yeah, they are the people that work at the cathedrals. Perhaps having a word with them, the clerics there might know more.
And with my hand sort of on his shoulder, I'm going to very carefully try and creep my finger around his pin badge and just slowly unlatch and take it.
Sick. Roll me a sleight of hand.
No one could have seen this coming.
No one ever.
Oh
in the
my
history of-
god.
Oh my
Let's go.
Yep,
There's
you
no way.
You just pull this pin straight off of his little kind of robes that he's wearing, and it comes straight off. Yep.
And I sort of, with my other hand, I'm just sort of indicating his notes again. Look, I know it's tough, right? Just keep at it, and eventually you'll be a master. You know, that's what they all do, all the greats.
Thank you. I'm Igni, by the way. I'm hoping that your advice can come in handy. What's your name?
My name is simply Boros.
Boros. Pleasure to meet you, Boros.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you as well. I mean, anything I can do to offer a young scholar in the making. I tried it myself, but I ended up just being a poet. I was just actually looking to see if any of my books ended up in here.
Yeah, you're very kind. He stands up and closes the book he was reading, puts it under his arm. Well, you've inspired me to at least try one more thing before I give up. I'm gonna head over to the cathedral. Maybe the clerics there can help me.
Of course. I mean, if anything, like you say, the divine may be an answer. If the arcane is not, then surely the gods can help.
Perhaps so. Very well. He puts the back over the book in the shelf, leaves it. I shall maybe see you around, Mr. Poet. And he wanders off with no badge.
I slide that successfully into my pocket, and I will go about actually helping tidy up some of the books that I may have made a mess of before.
Alright, very well. Right, well, whilst you guys are spending some time in the university, let's head over to our crooks. Oh wait, we were already
What do you
looking
mean
at...
by that?
We were already looking at criminals. Never mind. Let's head over to the other criminals.
I'm not
what do you mean
a
by that?
criminal.
What do you mean by criminals?
What do you mean by that? So,
I might be
do you mean
with
by
one,
that?
but I'm
for
not.
those of you who
Hey, what do you
went
mean by that?
to the
Lower district.
lower district,
Yeah.
you kind of almost feel, especially you peers who has seen lower districts before in the likes of the Land's Noose and other things like that, you're almost expecting to end up in a riddled, run down, kind of poverty-stricken district, but no. The only difference between the lower district and the upper district is the difference in housing. Like, instead of being really tall buildings and all of these extravagant kind of like cathedrals and more strips of shops and statues and all of that, instead it's a bit more quaint. There's more shrubbery and these well-kept trees and little cottages that are like dotted about, almost in a quieter district. So yeah, it's still incredibly welcoming and very nice. It's just not as, I suppose, as fancy, but still very comfortable living. So you head to the lower districts and make your way to see if you find this market. And as you're stumbling on by, you hear kind of in the distance the rustle and kind of the bustle of a market ongoing, just people talking and trade and stuff like that. And you turn a couple of corners, and there you end up in this kind of like square, broken up plaza into small kind of cubicles and squares and X's that is all different markets and stalls. People trying to sell fresh produce, people trying to sell kind of like small handcrafted like wooden statues, just people trying to make a living off of like their own abilities and stuff like that. And it seems like a little cute, quaint market, but very kind of like filled with people.
Okay. I guess we want to head towards like a butcher maybe? Or what do you want to do?
I want to look around to see if there's anyone who may have like try and have like cages or whatnot near like the stall.
Yeah, let's look for like a hunter trapper, so like a poacher.
Alright, so with the knowledge that you've been given about kind of how the Tiny Queen sees the trade of living creatures, and Pierce has your knowledge of kind of the underground and subterfuge of things, you'd be conscientious that there probably isn't an open space market that has any like cages or living animals and stuff like that present here. As much as this is still an open public market, so maybe this is where you can start questioning and maybe finding how to get to the people you want to talk to, but this is kind of almost like the mask, you know? This market is almost like the mask, and what you want to get to is probably somewhere a bit more gritty, or maybe in a different, more secluded space, but maybe you can find the person that is going to be able to point you to that direction here.
Then let's look for a pet store.
Alright, well,
What do you think?
looking for pet stores?
My character would have no idea.
Yeah, looking for pet stores in a
Okay.
place that...
This is all for you, brother.
Looking for pet stores in a place that does not allow the trade of living creatures would probably be very much impossible to
Actually,
do.
actually. Ooh, it's either going to be who deals with animals. It's going to be
You might not
butchers, or it's
necessarily
going to
have to look
be
for someone who deals with
Yeah,
animals in
you would
general,
be-
just someone who
yeah.
can-
Piers, you knew that you're probably looking for a contact that's going to get you into the quote-unquote underground, even though it isn't underground, but I'm just going to use that term. To get you into the underground first, and then you're going to have to find your collector. So you're going to have to find a snide, slimpy, slimy person first, and then maybe you can find your collector.
seedy underbellies normally start at a tavern or a pub.
Yeah,
Or
and
in
Gibbs
back
told
alleyways,
you,
either which.
yeah, and Gibbs told you that maybe you could find someone that can point you in the right direction around this market.
Yep.
So if you want, Piers, you can do an investigation or a perception check to see if you can start spotting anyone that you know is the type of person. Obviously, you've got your background feature that you wouldn't be able to use because you're new to this continent, but we're gonna mix it up a bit and make it at least useful. So I'll allow you to be able to find things. Well, there you go, 21.
There we go.
So having a look.
I guess I would be on the lookout for stuff more
Yeah.
exotic stuff that you wouldn't find. but
Yeah. So you go around, and as you're walking around in general, you see things past parts that other people's don't. And I believe you also know thieves can't, correct?
Yes.
Well, as you're going around, plastered onto certain like brick walls and stuff like that are posters and other such things. And reading in between some of the lines, you manage to notice that there's these advertisement, almost like propaganda-like posters of someone's market stall of exotic goods, and it's all in common. But in between of the common, in between the lines, you see a code in thieves' cant,
Okay.
and it's leading you to a specific market stall that is out in the open. And it's speaking about someone who calls himself the Golden Devil, but that is only in Thieves' Cant. The actual advertisement of it is a guy named Arxes, but the kind of code and the person that seems to be, like, you know, in the know is someone that they call, or if you do know this name, you'd be within the group, the Golden Devil.
Okay. So it's Arxes?
Yes. So as you're going around, and you're looking for this stall, and you're following the clues that these posts are giving you, eventually arrive at a stall that has exactly what you kind of mentioned earlier, exotic goods. So, like, spices and stuff from continents that are completely other than this one. And you see a man kind of in his stall, really giving it kind of like a entrepreneur front market. He's like calling people in, very charismatic fellow. Loads of people are beginning slowly to like crowd around him, and everyone's trying to like give him something. They're trying to buy off of these different things, whether they actually are exotic goods or not. Maybe not. Maybe it is completely lied and it's just advertised as such. It's unclear to you, but yeah, the man doing all of this is a blue-skinned tiefling with a golden smile. He wears a navy blue and gold-lined jacket, a white shirt, and navy trousers held by a large brown belt. You notice that this character, and his large kind of cocky golden smirk that he has, he's luring a lot of people into his market stall, and he's exchanging a lot of stuff with people. You get a hint that maybe this might be a good person that you can pull from.
Okay. I shall approach first.
Very well.
Afternoon. How we doing?
He's kind of like dealing with some customers. He's like, come on, roll it up, roll up. I'm sure you all want something here. I've got some spices bringing directly from the sands of Searman. Just for you, come on. And he notices you. Fantastic. A customer. What can I do for you, my slender friend? Perhaps an amulet that bestows you endless luck. And he kind of lifts up this basic-looking necklace made of gold with a locket at the end of it. Or perhaps I can grant you a wish. And he kind of pulls a card from under his sleeve and puts it on the table. Much like the story of the palace, but for you, a wish may be for fortune and fame.
I mean, I looked up to Hjarlgron. We are looking for something golden.
Is that so? Well, I've got plenty of gold here, my friend. So what can I interest you in? A golden ring, a necklace? Maybe even armor made of gold, eh?
You have anything in the way of demonology?
Perhaps we could dabble in a bit of the conjoined hells, but my trips perhaps have not been so bountiful from there. What is it that you're seeking, friend? And he leans in closer, starting to understand what you're putting down as he kind of brushes over his goatee.
We've got something interesting that might catch a few eyes. A drake's egg. Not quite a drake, though. Not quite a worm. But a reptilian egg with the essence of fire.
He looks at you. He let out this big laugh. Of course, no, yes, I can find you some large worm eggs from Lingard, and we can sell those, of course, for cooking needs, yeah? And he looks around, and he kind of leans in. We must go somewhere quieter. Follow me. He turns around. I am sorry, friends, but the shop for today is closed, and I will return post haste. Keep your money in your pockets until I need it. And he begins walking away down a couple of different turns and corners. Do you follow?
Yeah. I'll keep my wits about me, of course, but yeah.
Right. As you guys follow Arxes, or shall I say, the Golden Devil.
God, that is such a shit-eating ground.
He roams around and turns a couple of corners and eventually enters into a shop that at the front just seems like a bog standard general store. There's this man standing at the front who doesn't even pay any attention to anyone, and Arxes walks straight past him to the back of the shop. Are you guys following him to the back?
Yep.
I mean, if I can fit, yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's
he
a
can
bit
fit,
of
it's
a
very
bit of a tight squeeze, but yes, you follow him, and eventually he leads you into the back of the shop. As you guys enter through the door, you notice how he opens up a latch and kind of leads you downstairs somewhere, past a couple of other doors, and this is all slowly becoming more convoluted, and more doors and more turns, and eventually he leads you into kind of a almost attic type room. Please enter.
Is there... Do I hear, foot traffic going on past here?
Not anymore. He has taken you somewhere
Okay.
away from the masses.
Alright, cool. Keep him in... Yeah, I'll go in.
Closes the door. So, you say you have something of interest. A drake egg of some sort?
Lift my left arm.
Hjarlgron.
Just take it out.
You do realize what we're doing here, right? You're all aware of the pacts that you may be entering and the steps that you may be taking.
I just wish
Nowhere I
to sell
haven't
it.
been before.
I see that this isn't your first time, my slender friend. What about your big friend?
I don't care. I just wish to sell this.
He smiles and you can see his golden teeth reflect in the light of the torches in this room. Very well.
Otherwise, I'm eating it.
Well, that would be a waste. This here seems to be some sort of red whelpling, if I had to guess. One that may perhaps even grow into a dragon. You guys walking around with this could be very problematic for you. It's not every day
Also-
you see this. Well, the guards here are kind, but they're not stupid, my friend. It wouldn't take them long to notice that you guys are carrying this around. Begin asking questions. It would be good for me to take it off your hands, no?
It's something that we are actively looking at getting rid of.
That would be, and he strokes his goatee, doing you a favor. Now I believe that you, my Slim Jim friend, you probably know how to skulk and hide and conceal yourself, but maybe your friend here might not know as much. And if you get caught, punishment severe.
Didn't notice too many animals coming to and from here, so I would say so.
It is very much against the law of the Tiny Queen to trade in living goods. But thus in the shadows, under my golden grin, the Golden Devil likes to barter for gold and things just about beyond that. And you, for me, have brought me something quite interesting that I'm willing to bargain with. A drake egg, I know a buyer that would go for quite a price.
Are you the head hunter around here, are you? Or are you just the one with connections?
I'm the one that knows people. The one in between.
Middleman.
Exactly. On the surface, people know me as Arxes. But those who see you in a bit more of a behind the scenes know me as the Golden Devil.
I'm gonna grit my teeth in real life. Finch. Let's go with that.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Finch. Well, I will take this egg off your hands and do you all a favor.
How much?
I'm willing to give you, considering I'm the one doing you a favor and I could get in trouble, I'm willing to exchange 125 gold for it.
What's that the total percentage of?
You don't need to know what I make from this or my buyers. Secrecy is important, friend. You need to only know that I'm willing to part with 125 gold and consider that I'm doing you a favor. You should be happy.
I reckon since we did risk life and limb to get this in the first place, we could bump it up a small bunch.
See a
Perhaps-
cocky grin form in the side of his mouth. How much are you thinking?
If you're taking this out of town, it's not going to be a small feat. I do get that, and I respect you for that. Transportation, secrecy, especially for quite a heavy egg. 125 is, however, still lowballing quite a bit. But, to be fair, seeing as it was quite risky, getting it in and out, through kobolds, and, of course, killing the worm that possibly gave birth to these eggs. Let's bump it up to a good, say, 175, and we'll go from there.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion +5.
Oh,
Oh, can I use my inspiration?
You could have done beforehand. Inspirations work
So-
prior to the roll, not after to the roll.
Damn. Okay.
I like your attitude, boy. You'll go far in life. For a seasoned veteran from like myself. My price remains at 125. You can take it. Or you can leave. Carry your egg
Shogun-
around and
Shogun stands up and just goes to the door.
very well.
Your price is too low. 300 minimum or nothing.
A steep bargain, my friend.
And I can give you something to sweeten the deal.
What is that?
Holds up the egg. The location of where there is more of these. 2 more, in fact.
Well, our cards are on the table then.
I can tell that you're telling the truth about this. I could make a pretty penny from 2 more. It wouldn't take me too long to send them over. I will part with 275.
I would say that's fair. Shogun.
I said 300.
He folds his arm. Well, it shames me to see it. But I shall have to let you go then. 300
Very
is
well.
far too steep.
Stands up and goes to the door.
But, I shall remind you. I now know of 2 people carrying around an egg.
Not for long. Like I said, if I can't sell it, I'll eat it.
I could probably get the guards at the door within the next 10 minutes.
I can probably eat it within the next 1.
Shogun.
Holds up the egg in both hands and starts to he sees fingers around the egg.
I wouldn't recommend that.
And why is that?
It wouldn't be very good for you. You could possibly
Anything
die.
worse. Well, we can find out.
And you're willing to worth life for this.
I owe someone something, and the money from this will get at them.
And 275 does not cover it.
I told you my offer of 300.
That's priced too far and too steep for me, my friend.
Yet you're willing to more than double your original offer.
I am, but I'm also a man of cunning business and knows where I stand with my leverage.
And you're willing to not get at least 3 times the amount that this one egg would give you?
I am.
For such a small raise.
It was a high enough raise to almost double. That was enough for me. Money flows like rivers for me. I'm not exactly missing out on much. But it would have been nice, of course. 300 just seems too far out of my reach. Not worth what it could be. Also, vouching the difficulties of these eggs, I'm not willing to sacrifice my entire business on it.
Very well.
Shogun. If I may. It was a struggle for us getting this egg. Very much true. We are giving this egg over for payment and location of 2 more. It is delivery costs, it is hiring a new party to go out and get the other 2 eggs, life and limb,
I wouldn't need to hire any.
money that we see out.
I have underlings,
No.
my friend. I have people that do my business for me that do not come out of my pocket. My offer stands at 275. recommend taking it. Otherwise, news might start getting out.
Jogging, if you need 25 gold, I've got it in my pocket. That's good money.
Listen to your friend. He's smart.
I will use my whispers with Hjarlgron.
Mm-hmm.
He's bullshitting us, 100%. But we're new to the city. We're new faces, easily tracked. We don't even know what we're doing here. If we cross out this deal now, we're gonna make enemies, and make enemies quick. Not something we want to be doing.
Tell you what,
We're
275. And the next time we come into possession of something, you don't skimp out on the price.
An ongoing deal.
Kind of releases the fingers around the egg.
I am the Golden Devil. Puppets are my favorite. Very well. 275. And the next time that you bring me something of exotic worth or value, I give you my golden word that I will not skimp out. But you must also bring it straight to me and no other sellers or buyers.
I don't really know any others, so it's not really a problem. Goes over to the table with a makeshift sling, puts it on the table and puts the egg on top.
A good deal. And from underneath his large kind of little navy golden trimmed cloak pulls out a bag, quite a hefty one, and puts it on the table. And before he hands it over, he kind of like puts his arm around it. The location.
Of course. Do you have a map?
He pulls out from his like satchel on the side a map of Kelmont and rolls it out.
Kind of on the road going from the rest to the starboard, I'll kind of like put an X on just a little bit of the side.
He pushes the gold towards you. Rolls up the...
You should see a few red little sashes of ribbon in the trees. It'll lead you to a cave.
Very well. A great pleasure doing business, my friend.
Thank you.
And if you ever come across anything else exotic, different, out of place, I'd be more than interested to know. And he hands you a small, pretty much a business card with a golden trim around it, and hands it over to you.
I'll take
Yeah, I'll
that.
take that.
Oh, you take that?
Yep. 275.
Once you're in Grimtier with something exotic or value, just ask the card for the Golden Devil. I'll know.
Very well.
Oh, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Very
In
clever.
the future, we did plan to go to, I think, Griffin's Roost. So, who knows?
He smiles.
Maybe a griffin egg might be in your possession sooner or later.
I can feel a bountiful partnership forming. And for future reference, as he, hands you over the gold and stands up, I don't just barter in gold. If you know what I mean.
Perhaps he
Understood.
barters in contraband.
Well, to be fair, I'm not much one for gold anyway. Coming from the north and all. But
I have
I
eyes
know
and
it's
ears.
the currency of around here.
I have eyes and ears in many places. Currency is not always solid gold. Sometimes information is worth more than a pot of gold.
Keep that in mind.
Very well. And he points to the door that we all went through. You may leave.
Gives a nod, and then, yeah, hands on out.
As you walk out through the door...
I'll be out in a second, Hjarlgron.
as you
No
walk-
worries. I'm going to find a shop where this amulet can be made.
Very well. As you walk through the door, Hjarlgron, you are opening the door to some random, like, tavern or a shop, and as you open it and then close the door behind you, it's almost as if you just exited from this random, like, tavern or place that's dropped you somewhere in Primtier.
Oh, that's gangster.
That's sick. That's
Hmm.
awesome.
It turns to you, Pierce, who's remained. And what about you, my friend?
I'm looking to buy information.
Very well.
You traded more than just goods, right?
That I do. What other information does my slim friend need?
Well, as you know, Visalia has gone up in smoke.
Indeed, the Ivory March.
Not the best. A group that I was with looks like they've made their way over here.
Mm-hmm.
You've most likely heard of the Sparrows before.
That I have employed a couple myself once or twice.
Interesting. So, they're looking to set up shop here in Calmont.
So I've heard. They've also sent someone else to the other continents to do the same, no?
Makes sense. But I know them personally. But I'm looking for where they would be originating here in Calmont.
So you want leads to the Sparrow's Nest?
Looking for a way back home.
Leans back with a smirk. I could pull a few strings, but how much are you willing to offer? That's some dangerous information you're looking for, my friend. I could end up in an alleyway dead before I know it. So what can you offer me?
Very true. Ah. What do I have? 2 seconds.
Ball of lint, a marble, a button.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what I have that's worth my time. No, I don't know what my skills could do for you, seeing you have underlings and whatnot. 50 gold in my pocket says a small lead.
How about this? I promise, as a part of my pact, to find you information on where they might reside, as I yet may or may not know. Give me a couple of days, as I imagine that you and your friends will be around in the city. I'll find out some more information. And in the meantime, perhaps you can think of something that will be worth my time. You seem to be a man who's involved with some very important people. So perhaps you can find out something for me that is worth the trade.
It's not a name you chuck around lightly, that's for sure. But, dark room, dark business. If you need anything that requires particular skills, you let me know.
Well, I will find your information. And in the meantime, you find something that is worth my time.
See what we can do.
He smiles, Very good. Then you'll be off. And he points you to the door.
Pleasure doing business.
And remember, speak of the devil and he shall appear.
That's my line. I don't like the door.
Alright, you walk through the door, and you also open the door to whatever random building that also Hjarlgron left out of, in some random tavern or inn that leads you out onto the streets of a random place in Primtier.
Let's go.
And as you
Very
guys make your trade,
Cool.
and people have done their shopping, and we slowly divulge to slowly figure out the different parts of Primtier and what we can find, do, and explore here, which there is fuckloads.
Yeah, baby.
We shall...
Autobus 2.0.
Oh, this is like Altabas plus fucking all of the other places at once. There's a lot of shit here.
Altabas.
There's a lot
Altabas
of
New
shit.
Game Plus.
Guys.
Autobus 3, baby!
There's a lot of shit here. So, we shall leave it there for now and explore the inner workings of Primtier next time.
This is truly the League of Legends.
Let's go.
Alright?
All right.
Man, this
We shall see you all
Goodbye.
next time, and until then, I hope you all have a wonderful...
remake integrate rebirth.
And until then, we shall make a prompt return. And until then, I hope you all have a wonderful long rest. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.